Chapter 302. Shoo! A weird cloth-tearing sound was heard. The Kill Heart Sword Chi, which contained the immortal mentality and sword intent, brutally pierced through Sikong Shung's fist power, leaving behind a sharp and long pitch-black sword mark in the air. It then landed on Sikong Shung's chest with an unstoppable force, blowing him away. However, although the sword Chi had pierced through the fist power, the aftermath of the exploding fist power still tore apart the air, creating layers of vacuum cracks. Countless vacuum cracks combined together, looking like a vacuum balsam flower blooming towards Yichun. Shoo! 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 The range of the vacuum cracks was way too big. Even with his separating shadow art, Yichun could not avoid all of them. Without panicking, Yichun put up his left index and middle fingers, and the last green lotus sword Chi shot out of his body, destroying one of the incoming vacuum cracks. As the vacuum cracks disappeared, Yichun looked in front of him. There was a collapsed hill, and a human-shaped crack could be vaguely seen. Boom! The hill exploded, and Sikong Shung rushed out with blood dripping out of the corner of his mouth. Stepping on the ground, Sikong Shung quickly calmed down his boiling chi and blood and his half-step Jinyuan. This time, he was able to block out the Kill Heart Sword Chi. Besides the fact that his fist power had canceled out most of the power, it was also thanks to the chaotic force field created by his Yuan magnetic battle body, which had reduced the stability and destructive power of the Kill Heart Sword Chi. Of course, the half-step Jin Yuan on the surface of his body was also one of his defensive methods, which was 30 to 40% more powerful than the normal half-step protective Jin Yuan. Your ace attack can't do anything to me anymore. Plus, it seems like the sword attack can't be used too much. Let me see what other ace attacks you have this time. Winning or losing was very important to Sikong Shung, and the luck that had been taken away was also very important. Sikong Shung had never thought of giving up until the last second. The ground was cracked as Sikong Shung shot up into the sky. His tightly clenched fist was covered in electricity as he threw out a punch, shaking up the entire sky. Then I will show you a new killer move, Green Lotus Sky. Taking a deep breath, Yichun's eyes were as calm as an ancient well. The Green Lotus Zhun Chi inside his body had been pushed to its limit, pouring into his palm and into the Star Scar sword in a mysterious way. An extremely sharp blue chi flow appeared on the Star Scar sword, which then condensed into countless illusory blue lotuses. Whoosh! The sword attack seemed slow, but it was actually fast. The air strangely calmed down, as if the raging river had turned into a lake with no waves at all. On the surface of the lake, different sized green lotuses started to grow at a speed faster than human eyes could see, which was exactly the same as the scene in the Hidden Dragon Secret Realm. Sikong Shung's powerful fist power entered the lake and seemed to have encountered a huge obstacle. Its speed became slower and slower, and its sharpness became fainter and fainter. Those green lotuses that were close to his fist power were like sharp swords that had been taken out of their sheaths, flying out one after another, turning into blue-colored sword chi and shooting out. What happened next was even more horrifying. The lake had been stimulated by the fist power and started to expand at an extreme speed, dragging Sikong Shung into it. Countless green lotuses turned into sword chi and hacked on his body crazily, burning out the magnetic power and half-step Jin Yuan inside his body. What kind of sword movement is this? Sikong Shung was deep in a lake-like area, trying his best to defend against the endless sword chi that was shooting towards him. The magnetic power inside his body was decreasing at a much faster rate than before. If it continued like this, the Yuan magnetic battle body's effect would disappear completely. Green Lotus accumulation cut. The Green Lotus Sky was the ace attack of the Green Lotus sword art. It worked perfectly with the Green Lotus Zhun Chi, which was extremely mysterious. The immortal mentality contained in the sword intent seemed to have a nourishing effect on this ace attack, making the air even more stable, like a calm lake. Feeling the Green Lotus Zhun Chi inside his body being consumed at an extremely fast speed, Yichun did not dare to waste any time. He flicked his sword tip, lifting up the edge of the lake in the air. The next second, hundreds of green lotuses floated up in the air, merging together and forming into a huge green lotus. There were light purple lotuses on top of the green lotuses, surrounded by beams of blue chi flow, looking like blades. Boom! The huge green lotus spun a couple of times before attacking towards Sikong Sheng. Pooh! The consumption of the magnetic power had greatly decreased Sikong Sheng's defense, and the huge green lotus formed by the sharp chi flow was even more horrifying than the kill heart sword chi. It had broken through his defense instantly, shattering his half-step Jin Yuan. As the remaining magnetic power leaked out, Sikong Sheng could no longer handle the power. He puked out a 3-meter-tall blood column, then was blown backward like a shooting star. Sheng-er, the elder's face was dark like water. He controlled his Huang Thunder Beast to catch Sikong Sheng and put him on the back of the beast. He then turned around slowly, his expression changing continuously as he stared at Yichun. As one of the core masters of the floating mountain martial school, the elder's name was Jin Huang, and people called him Jin Huang. He was extremely famous in the Gray Mystery Nation, and all the warriors from the Gray Mystery Nation would be scared when they saw him. The head disciple of his martial school had been beaten. No matter how good his temper was, he would still be a bit angry, not to mention that he was not a good-tempered person himself. Taking a deep breath, Yichun released his minor blood demon body, separating great art. As the minor blood demon body, separating great art, was released, Yichun's spirit seemed to have dropped a lot. However, a stream of chi that was extremely hard to detect had been injected into his body through the air, making his condition much better. This is the Dragon Fountain Chi? Of course, he knew what Sikong Sheng's intention was. It was nothing more than to decide the winner and take back a part of the Dragon Fountain Chi. Although this was not a hidden dragon rank competition, if he lost, he would still lose a part of the Dragon Fountain Chi. Luckily, it would not be as exaggerated as the hidden dragon rank competition, since luck was something that was constantly changing. This time, if Sikong Sheng beat him, he would lose a part of the Dragon Fountain Chi, without a doubt. The Dragon Fountain Chi was equivalent to luck, but of course luck was not necessarily the Dragon Fountain Chi. Shu, Cloud Dreamer, who had always been quiet, appeared right next to Yichun. He laughed at Jin Huang. This year's young generation is indeed different. You have really opened my eyes. I am the great master of the sky, Cloud Martial School, Cloud Dreamer. I wonder who you are? Jin Huang said coldly. You do not need to know my name. But I have a question. What you have performed is the minor blood demon body separating great art. The last sentence was directed at Yichun. Cloud Dreamer's expression changed suddenly. The last thing he wanted to see had happened after all. He hurried to say, Yichun used to be a disciple of our Sky Cloud Martial School. Now he's become a master. He had some strange encounters in the past, and had gotten some messy martial arts and secret martial arts. Shut up. Jin Huang interrupted Cloud Dreamer and yelled at Yichun. I am asking you, are you training the minor blood demon body separating great art? So what if I am? So what if I am not? Yichun knew that there was no way for this to end well. His opponent was obviously targeting him. Even if he did not perform the minor blood demon body separating great art, he could not guarantee that there would not be any other problems. Hee hee. Jin Huang sneered. How dare you? Do you know how many people of our floating mountain martial school have been killed by Master Blood Demon? How many elders had died in his hands? Under such circumstances, you still dare to train the infamous minor blood demon body separating great art? Are you not putting our floating mountain martial school in your eyes? What a big accusation. Yichun said, which martial art in this true spirit continent has not been stained with blood and life? Are all martial arts unusable? You still dare talk back? You are courting death. Without giving Yichun any chance to speak, Jin Huang put his finger on his thumb and flicked out a beam of golden light. Don't go too far, Cloud Dreamer roared, burning his Jun Yuan all of a sudden. He blocked in front of Yichun and threw out a sword attack toward the finger light. At the same time, Thunder Freer also arrived. Nobody knew when he had already burned his Jun Yuan, but he had also thrown out a claw attack toward the golden finger light. As the target of the opponent, How could Yi Chun just stand by and watch? He did not care that performing the minor blood demon body separating great art again would bring a huge damage to his body. His chi and blood burned fiercely as he coughed out a chunk of blood and threw out a kill heart sword attack. Rumble. The three of them were in their strongest state, but Taoist Jin Huang's strength was not something they could resist even if they joined forces. Even a wisp of his finger light could easily shatter their defenses and send them flying hundreds of meters away, coughing up 3 feet of blood. Walking down from the back of the Thunder Beast, Jin Huang stood in midair with a cold look in his eyes. You three want to fight against me? You're courting death. Right now, I will give you a chance and a chance to live. Hand over the minor blood demon body, separating great art, and break your own arms and legs. Then, I will let this matter go. Otherwise, I will kill the whole Sky Cloud Martial School. As soon as he said that, everyone in the Sky Cloud Martial School turned pale. They believed that Jin Huang could do it. A late astral-reaching realm warrior from a rank 6 martial school was extremely powerful. Even a normal late astral-reaching realm warrior would not be able to survive against him, not to mention them. Some of the people who had just joined had already started to run. Compared to their lives, the honor of the martial school was too far away from them. It was not worth it at all. Even if I, Cloud Dreamer, die, I will make you suffer for 3 days. Breaking their own arms and legs would be the same as cutting off their martial path, which would be even more painful than death. Cloud Dreamer, Thunder Freer, and Yi Chun were all ready to fight to the death, especially Cloud Dreamer. The burning Zhen Yuan outside of his body had become extremely unstable, showing signs of exploding. A horrifying chi spread out everywhere. Shoo! Yi Chun, who was bleeding from every orifice, blocked in front of Cloud Dreamer. He was the one who started all of this, so he should be the one risking his life. He had already died once, so what if he died again? Come out. Coughing out a piece of internal organ, Yi Chun crazily pushed his green lotus Jin Qi, trying to draw out the mysterious Zhen Yuan from the Jin Qi spiral. It seemed to be affected by Yi Chun's crazy emotions, as the mysterious Zhen Yuan that had been silent for a long time started to wriggle. The frequency was getting higher and higher, and the vibration was getting bigger and bigger. A wave of Zhen Yuan spread out, along with a violent, unstable element. It was because the mysterious Zhen Yuan was not pure, as 10% of it was green lotus Zhen Yuan. Since you want to die, then don't blame me. Jin Huang's eyes were filled with killing intent as he pointed out his finger again. Pooh! It was not Yi Chun who puked out blood, but Su Jing. Her body was slightly slim, and her white clothes were stained with blood. Both of her arms were hanging down, as if she had lost her bones. Chapter 303. Just like Yi Chun, Su Jing had chosen to go into closed-door training not long after she got back from the Hidden Dragon Ancient City. Because the battle between Yi Chun and Si Kongsheng was way too loud, she decided to come out and see what was going on. When she arrived, the battle between Yi Chun and Si Kongsheng had already ended. Jin Huang's aggressiveness had alerted her secretly, so she rushed over to help Yi Chun. Jin Huang had trained a gold element martial art. Even a casual finger attack from him would have the ability to break through anything. It had easily pierced through Su Jing's defense, breaking the bones in her arms inch by inch. It had all happened too fast. The mysterious Zhen Yuan inside, Yi Chun's body had just been drawn out of his dantian. If he moved even a little bit, it would be all for naught. He could only watch Su Jing being blown hundreds of meters away. The good thing was that Zhu Mei had already caught up, blocking in front of Su Jing. Blood explosion spell, green lotus sky. With an angry growl, the bloody red Zhen Qi outside of Yi Chun's body exploded violently. It was the most powerful ace attack of the minor blood demon body, separating great art, and it also had the biggest backfire. Even Yuan Zongbua did not dare to use it, because once he used it, there was a 90% chance that he would be crippled and a 30% chance of dying completely. It was extremely dangerous. Correspondingly, after using the blood explosion spell, Yi Chun's battling power had increased again, reaching more than 80%. It was almost the same as burning his Zhen Yuan to increase his battling power. Not only that, The mysterious Zhen Yuan that had been poured into the meridians in his right arm had also been dyed red by the spell. In other words, the second he used the mysterious Zhen Yuan, Yi Qin's basic power would be similar to an early astral-reaching realm warrior. Combined with the 70% sword intent and the ace attack from the Green Lotus Sword Art, it would be possible for him to kill a mid-astral-reaching realm warrior. As for a late astral-reaching realm warrior, the result would be revealed soon. Shoo! The Star Scar sword in his hand was as heavy as a mountain. Yi Qin threw out a sword attack that looked slow but was actually fast. The boiling air calmed down at an unnatural speed, turning into a dead silence. Then, countless green lotuses with a hint of red appeared, covering the entire sky. Umph! You dare to show off your insignificant skills in front of me? Break! Taoist Jin Huang snorted coldly. He raised his palm horizontally and slapped the void. A golden brilliance condensed into a giant palm, tearing apart the stagnant air, tearing apart countless green lotuses, and opening up a pitch-black vacuum passage. The vacuum passage seemed to contain a great gravitational force, sucking in everything around it. Puff! Yi Qin's 7 orifices were bleeding, and his body reeked of blood. Right then, Yi Qin's body suddenly shook. His Green Lotus Sword spell, which had been stuck at the peak of the 9th realm, had suddenly reached the 10th realm under the great pressure. At the same time, his cultivation had also made great progress. Not only had he reached the peak level late clasping Yuan realm, but he was also not far away from being able to purify his Zhen Yuan. Yi Qin had finally understood that the more pressure there was, the more explosive power there would be. If he did not explode in silence, then he would die in silence. Green Lotus accumulation cut. Without showing any excitement, Yi Qin's eyes were resolute, locking onto Taoist Jin Huang like a hawk. Right then, his mysterious Zhen Yuan had already been poured into the Star Scar sword through the meridians in his arm. The Star Scar sword exploded with a bright light that could even dim the stars in the sky. Under the dazzling light, a fist-sized green lotus appeared on the tip of the sword. It was light purple in color, with strands of blood diamond-like chi flowing around its edge, easily cutting through the surreal space. Shoo! As Yi Qin's sword hacked down, the fist-sized green lotus shot out at a horrifying speed, leaving a perfectly straight black line in the surreal space. The black line did not disappear for a long time, extending for hundreds of meters, as if it had divided the whole space into 2 parts, one above and one below. It was extremely creepy. Not good. How can this kid have Zhen Yuan? If it were only Zhen Yuan, Taoist Jin Huang would not even spare a glance, as he could turn the opponent into ashes with a flick of his finger. However, Yi Qin had just used the blood explosion spell, combining his Zhen Yuan with his qi and blood, which was equivalent to burning his Zhen Yuan. His basic strength had increased drastically. Not only that, Yi Qin was also a sword artist who had comprehended 70% sword intent. With the two added together, even a mid-astral reaching expert would have to suffer a grievance if they were careless. Moreover, he did not put the people from the Sky Cloud Martial School in his eyes at all, and had only used 50 to 60% of his Zhen Yuan, not to mention burning his Zhen Yuan. The current him could not even compare to a mid-astral reaching expert with his protective Zhen Yuan. If he were hit by this sword, even if he did not die, he would be crippled. The speed of the Green Lotus was too fast. Taoist Jin Huang did not have the time to thicken his protective Zhen Yuan, so he could only raise his right middle finger and point out. Gold Bright Finger. Gold Bright Finger was Taoist Jin Huang's famous martial art. Even if he used 50 to 60% of his strength, its might was not something an ordinary astral reaching expert could compare with. Shoo! The golden light streaked across the sky, colliding with the unceasingly revolving Green Lotus. There was no sound, nor any sound or light effect. The two tightly stuck together, without any sound or presence, as if they were two magnets. Everyone was somewhat unable to adapt. It was as if they clearly knew that thunder was about to strike, and they could already see the flickering of thunder and lightning, and they had already made all the preparations. Yet when the lightning struck down, there was not the slightest sound of thunder, which was rather unbearable. It might have been an instant, or it might have been a long time. With a loud bang, a dazzling radiance soared into the sky, tearing apart the black clouds in the sky, tearing apart the thunder and lightning, unceasingly spurting out firepower. At first glance, it looked like a fan-shaped light screen, the starting point of which was precisely the point where the golden light and green lotus collided. With a loud bang, Yi Chun and Taoist Jin Huang were both blown back. The difference was that Yi Chun was blown back while spurting out blood, and his body seemed to have lost a lot of weight, becoming as thin as a stick. On the other hand, Taoist Jin Huang's face was slightly pale, and he slid back several hundred meters in the sky, without any injuries. The gap between the two was too big. Even if Yi Chun had surpassed his limits and burst out with the most powerful attack of his life, a gap was still a gap. Compared to Taoist Jin Huang, who had hastily counterattacked, he was still not his opponent. However, being able to push Taoist Jin Huang back several hundred meters was enough to prove Yi Chun's strength. Sky-shattering strike, Sky Thunder Strike. Cloud Dreamer and Thunder Freer bit their tongues, trying their best to recover from their absent-minded state. Their Zhen Yuan, which had been pushed to its peak, poured out without any regard for their lives, and performed their most powerful martial arts, attacking Taoist Jin Huang, who had just stabilized his body. Victory or defeat would be decided in this one move. No matter how many ants there are, there's still ants. This time, you will all die, and the Sky Cloud Martial School will be completely destroyed as well. Yi Chun's frontal attack had made Taoist Jin Huang's blood boil. He had to hold back his blood for a long time before he could swallow it back down. Seeing Cloud Dreamer and Thunder Freer seize this opportunity to attack him, Taoist Jin Huang was instantly enraged. He did not care about the fact that forcefully increasing his Zhen Yuan would bring a huge burden to his body, and threw out 2 finger attacks with 70% of his Zhen Yuan. Pooh! Although Cloud Dreamer and Thunder Freer's attacks were not as powerful as Yi Chun's attack, they should not be underestimated. However, this time, Taoist Jin Huang had used 70% of his Zhen Yuan, which was not something that the finger attack from before could compare with. Without any suspense, the 2 attacks had been shattered. Cloud Dreamer laughed bitterly. Brother Thunder, please take away all the people that you can, especially Yi Chun. Leave a root for our Sky Cloud Martial School, a lifeline. Do not let our last hope die. Otherwise, I, Cloud Dreamer, will not be able to face all the previous leaders of the Sky Cloud Martial School. I will not be satisfied even if I die. The last sentence was almost yelled out by Cloud Dreamer. Thunder Freer's expression changed. Cloud Dreamer, what are you doing? Hurry up. There is no time. I will use my last drop of blood to stall him. Cloud Dreamer was already extremely unstable. His exploding Zhen Yuan had been completely messed up, and he could no longer calm himself down. His whole body was like a container filled with gunpowder, ready to explode at any second. Thunder Freer shook his head and sighed. He was ready to die as he said to Cloud Dreamer, "There's no more chance." Look. Cloud Dreamer followed Thunder Freer's gaze and saw Yi Chun, who was covered in blood, flying back. His robe was stained with blood, and so was his hair. Senior Cloud Dreamer, Senior Thunder Freer, I know what you are thinking, but I can't back out, and I can't run away. If I were to sacrifice the whole Sky Cloud Martial School for my life, then what would be the point of me staying alive? The scary heart demon will stop me from reaching the life and death realm for the rest of my life, and I will not live up to your expectations. I do not want to carry such a heavy burden. Since the day I, Yi Chun, picked up my sword, I have never thought about running away, and I have never thought about letting someone else die for me. This is all because of me, and I will be the one to end it. You don't need to try to persuade me. I have made up my mind. As he spoke, Yi Chun took out a huge amount of blood sunflowers and swallowed them. He then performed his blood explosion spell without caring about his own life. Right then, his mind had never been this resolute, and his will had never been this strong. The sword intent kept rising up into the sky, and it seemed to be endless. Such a horrifying sword intent had already surpassed his body's limit, and his skin started to crack. Peak 70% sword intent. No, it should be 80% sword intent. Jin Huang gasped as he screamed in his mind. This kid can't be left alive, or he will become a huge threat. Right now, he was already scared. If he could not kill Yi Chun today, he would have nightmares for the rest of his life. Woo, woo, woo. A lot of Sky Cloud Martial School's female disciples started crying, while the male disciples' eyes became more and more determined. Wu Ming, I want to go up and fight. What do you think? Zhang Haoran, who was only at the peak of late condensing reality realm, took a step forward and flew into the sky. Wu Ming laughed out loud. Zhang Haoran, don't look down on me. Do you think I, Wu Ming, am afraid of death? Unknowingly, all of the Sky Cloud Martial School's disciples had gathered together. Those who could fly stood next to Cloud Dreamer and the rest, while those who couldn't stood on the ground. At this moment, the Sky Cloud Martial School was unprecedentedly united and powerful. Everyone's mind naturally gathered together, eventually turning into a fighting spirit that would rather die than surrender. Zhu Mei, let's go up. Being held in Zhu Mei's arms weakly, Su Jing said in a low voice. Zhu Mei had tears in her eyes as she slightly nodded. Lu Hanzhan chuckled, but no one knew what he was laughing about. They only knew that his smile was bright and gentle as he flew into the sky together with Zhu Mei. Looking at the crowd of Sky Cloud Martial School's disciples, Jin Huang was in a bad mood. He had never seen a situation like this before. In his mind, the Sky Cloud Martial School should be in a desperate situation. Then all of you die, Jin Huang roared out. His Zhen Yuan started to burn fiercely, and an extremely horrifying aura swept out, condensing into a hurricane that tore the ground apart and collapsed mountains. That golden fiery light looked like a golden sun. Golden sun splitting. An extremely condensed light ball condensed on his fingertip. Jin Huang believed that once this light ball exploded, no matter how many people there were, they would all die. Sigh. Right at this moment, a sigh was heard. It seemed to be right next to everyone's ears, but also seemed to be far away from the sky. It kept lingering in the air and vibrating. Right after that, the gray sky suddenly cleared up. In everyone's sight, a mountain-sized huge hand pressed down, covering the sun and the sky. The fingerprint on the palm was so clear that even the heaven and earth were shaken. Chapter 304. Retracting his finger, Taoist Jin Huang's eyes widened as he roared, "Impossible! How could Sky Cloud Martial School have this kind of background? Impossible! Who are you? Why are you meddling in this matter? My Floating Mountain Martial School has no enmity with you. Please don't do anything." Taoist Jin Huang couldn't sense the aura of the owner of the huge hand at all. Therefore, there were only two possibilities. First, the opponent had entered the sea of Soul's realm, and his Zhen Yuan had turned into an ocean, returning to the origin. Second, the opponent had entered the even more frightening life and death realm. Once one entered the life and death realm, the difference between heaven and earth would be completely different. Regardless of which possibility it was not something that Taoist Jin Huang could contend against. The former was still manageable, since at least the Floating Mountain School had Sea of Souls realm warriors, and not just one or two of them. However, if it was the latter, then the entire Floating Mountain School would not even be able to withstand one finger of the opponent. Life and death realm warriors were called kings, and it was not without reason. They were the kings of the martial artists, and represented the world's will of the true spirit continent. Without life and death realm warriors, no matter how powerful one was, it would be useless. The speed of the huge hand was not that fast, as if its owner was not serious. However, in Taoist Jin Huang's eyes, the sky was no longer the sky, and the earth was no longer the earth. The mountains behind Sky Cloud Martial School were all under the control of the huge hand. Seeing that the opponent had no intention of stopping, Taoist Jin Huang's heart was filled with boundless fear. Not caring about the Huang Thunder Beast and Sikong Sheng, he extended his body and flew away at an extreme speed. With a flicker, he appeared 7 to 8 li away, like a small sun that was constantly jumping. Humph! With a cold snort, the thumb and index finger of the sky-covering hand began to close together. When it was only 10 feet away, the fleeing Taoist Jin Huang seemed to have walked right into a trap. He was imprisoned within, unable to move or even struggle. I am not willing. These people are only ants. I will kill them if I want to. Taoist Jin Huang mustered his remaining strength, burning his Zhen Yuan fiercely, trying to escape. Everyone from the Sky Cloud Martial School was stupefied. The previously insufferably arrogant Taoist Jin Huang was currently being clamped by 2 sky-reaching fingers. His face was full of fright and anger, as if he was a headless fly, which brought a huge contrast to their vision. They all thought, who was the owner of this sky-covering hand? Even a late astral-reaching expert has been casually pinched by him. This level of strength is already not something that can be imagined. Don't worry, I won't kill you with my own hands. You're not worth my life. Now, get the hell out of the Sky Cloud Martial School. Get the hell out of the Windy Nation. If you dare to take another step forward in this life, you will die for sure. Also, go back and tell the leader of the Floating Mountain sect that this is just a small warning. If he dares to offend you again, the Floating Mountain sect will be destroyed, and the 10,000 years of foundation of the Azure Emperor and the Stone Emperor will be destroyed. Do you hear me? Only Taoist Jin Huang could hear the voice of the owner of that sky-covering hand. However, it was not a human voice, but the sound of the air vibrating. It was similar to Zhen Qi sound transmission, but 10 times more advanced than Zhen Qi sound transmission. Astral-reaching realm warriors would never be able to do it. You won't kill me? Taoist Jin Huang stopped struggling. He knew that no matter how hard he struggled, it would be useless. If the opponent wanted to kill him, it would only take a single thought. His evil eyes landed on Yi Chen's body. Taoist Jin Huang sneered inwardly. So it is not because of your backer. If you were, you would not let me go, because if you let me go, once Yi Chen leaves the Windy Nation, I will be able to hunt him down. Anyway, the owner of that sky-covering hand did not say that he was not allowed to kill Yi Chen. He only said that he was not allowed to enter the Windy Nation. It seems like the gods want you dead. Within 5 years, you will never have the power to fight against me. And if you want to continue growing, you will have to leave the Windy Nation. This is an endless cycle. There's only death. How about I let you go for now? Although Taoist Jin Huang was afraid of Yi Chen's potential, he did not think that Yi Chen would be able to surpass him within 5 years. There would be plenty of chances to kill him. There was no need to risk his own life. Senior, I promise that I will never step into the Windy Nation or the Sky Cloud Martial School for the rest of my life. Taoist Jin Huang said with a loud voice. The huge hand, made of Yuan Qi, loosened, and the air around Taoist Jin Huang's ears vibrated again. Piss off. I might change my mind at any time. Hearing him, Taoist Jin Huang's expression changed. He seemed to be afraid that the owner of the huge hand would change his mind and kill him for good. He hurriedly jumped onto the back of the Thunder Beast and commanded it to fly away. Within a blink of an eye, they disappeared into the clouds. You didn't kill him? It would be a lie if Cloud Dreamer and Thunder Freer said that they were not disappointed. Of course, they did not dare to complain about the owner of the huge hand. Without him, the Sky Cloud Martial School would have been completely destroyed. There would not have been a second possibility. A late astral-reaching realm warrior from a rank 6 martial school would already be considered as a top warrior in the whole South River region. Under the Sea of Souls realm, he would be above hundreds of thousands of people. Not good. I can't control my Jin Yuan anymore. Although he had relaxed a bit, Cloud Dreamer still could not control his own Jin Yuan. Once his Jin Yuan exploded, there would be nothing left of him, and everything within 10 miles would be destroyed. This was a secret art that he had obtained by chance. Once he used it, there would be no way to change it. Thunder Freer noticed the aura that was about to explode from Cloud Dreamer's body, so he was shocked. Cloud Dreamer had told him about this secret art. This time, he had to use it during the battle with Taoist Jin Huang. However, Taoist Jin Huang had already left, so his death would be meaningless. Shoo! Something strange happened. One of the fingers of the huge hand reached out and lightly touched on Cloud Dreamer's protective Zhen Yuan. The wind started to blow, and the clouds disappeared. The next second, Cloud Dreamer's aura disappeared, and the Jade Destruction secret art returned to its original state. The explosive aura disappeared completely. Thank you, Senior. Cloud Dreamer cupped his fists and bowed toward the huge hand. The air vibrated. No need to thank me. Actually, I wanted to save Yi-Chun. But Yi-Chun's relationship with the Sky Cloud Martial School was too deep. This whole thing was caused by him. Senior, how can I not thank you? Cloud Dreamer obviously could not just say no, since the other had not only saved him, but the entire Sky Cloud Martial School. Even if the other asked him to kill himself right now, he would do it. The Sky Cloud Martial School was in his hands, and this kind of feeling was not something normal people could understand. The owner of the huge hand did not say anything, and his voice moved to Yi-Chen's ears. Are you wondering why I didn't kill Taoist Jin Huang? The blood explosion art disappeared automatically. Yi-Chen's body was covered in blood as he said weakly, Senior, you should have your own plan. Yi-Chen can guess a little bit. Oh, tell me. Senior, you want me to take revenge myself and get rid of my inner demon? The air vibrated a bit unsteadily. You're right. I did have this intention. The path of a warrior is to overcome all obstacles, and no impurities can be tolerated. Today's incident had a great impact on you. If you could not kill Taoist Jin Huang yourself, it would be a huge hindrance to your cultivation. Plus, you are a sword artist who had comprehended the sword intent, so you could not back down. Killing Taoist Jin Huang was like helping you choose to back down. This is not what I want to see, nor is it what you want to see. Therefore, you can take Taoist Jin Huang's life. As for whether you can kill him or not, it will depend on your own ability. I will not help you for the same thing twice. Yi-Chun said, Thank you, Senior, for your help. I will kill Taoist Jin Huang with my own hands, and no one can stop me. As for his death, it means that I am not qualified to step into a higher realm. Very good. I like your calmness. I hope you can keep it up. Do not be blinded by hatred. The path of a warrior is not just about hatred. Senior, you are. Don't ask and don't think about it. I will tell you when I need to. I have my reasons for not telling you, and it is also the reason why I did not show up. Yi-Chun is too reckless. You are badly wounded. The minor blood demon body, separating great art, is not a secret skill for warriors. It is an incomplete secret skill created by the blood demon master based on the blood demon doppelganger. Without the doppelganger, every time you use it, you will lose your chi and blood. Normal medicines will not be able to help you recover completely. You will have to deal with this yourself. I will not give you any material help. Yi-Chen knows. The minor blood demon body, separating great art, was a huge burden on the body. Although the chi and blood that was consumed could be replenished by the blood sunflower, the blood sunflower was not omnipotent. It could be used once or twice, but if it was used too many times, then it would have to be nurtured for a while. Otherwise, there would be a horrifying side effect. This time, in order to fight against Taoist Jin Huang, Yi-Chen had even performed the ultimate skill of the minor blood demon body separating great art, the blood explosion great art. It was almost as powerful as the major blood demon body separating great art, but the side effect was extremely huge. If it were not for the fact that Yi-Chen's body was extremely powerful, and that he had trained the pure Jade body boosting spell to the 5th level, the King Kong Jade body boosting spell, he would have been crippled even if he did not die. As for the help from the owner of the sky-covering palm, Yi-Chun had never thought about it. Everyone's path of being a martial artist was right under their feet, and others would not be able to help them. If they helped him, then they might end up harming him instead. If one did not understand the pain, then how could one understand the sweetness after the pain? Of course, Yi-Chun was not worried about the side effects, since he still had a 3,000 years old blood sunflower in his storage ring, which was 10 times more powerful than the 1,000 years old one. As long as his chi and blood did not run out, it would not be a big problem to get rid of the side effects. However, Su Jing's injury was giving him a headache. The broken bones in her arm and the broken bones in her arm were two completely different things. Without great treasures, it would be very hard to heal. He could imagine the pain of having a whole bone broken into countless pieces. The owner of the sky-covering palm seemed to have guessed Yi Chen's thoughts. I will not help that girl with the broken bones in her arm either. She is very talented and has a great chance to achieve great things in the future. This is not a bad thing for her. In fact, have you realized that the whole Sky Cloud Martial School has changed because of this? This is the rise of the Sky Cloud Martial School. It is the beginning of the Sky Cloud Martial School's rise. Yi Chen nodded. During that bloody battle, he was very touched by what people from the Sky Cloud Martial School had done. They were obviously very weak and could not help at all, but they still stood out without any hesitation, willing to live and die with the Sky Cloud Martial School. This kind of fearlessness was not something that a powerful martial school could achieve. He believed that in the future, the Sky Cloud Martial School would definitely grow and become a super martial school in the South River region. Since this is done, I will not stay any longer. Remember, the path of a martial artist is like sailing against the current. Only by keeping your heart will you be able to move forward. The sky-covering palm disappeared, and the voice disappeared slowly. Taking a deep breath, Yi Chen turned around to look at the crowd. In his sight, everyone was looking at him, and he was also looking at them. The eye contact did not require words. This is my second home. As the thought flashed through his mind, Yi Chen raised his head and fell down from the sky. It was a miracle for him to be able to last until now. But now, the miracle was over. Chapter 305. Shocking Cloud Peak. Inside a spacious room, Yi Chen, who was wrapped in bandages, crawled out of bed. He was already 18 years old, but he was no longer childish. His slightly skinny body was not weak at all. The tightly wrapped bandages showed his well-defined muscles, which were full of explosive power. It was as if his body was made of steel. He raised his arm, but it was still weak. This was a sign of excessive loss of qi and blood, and a great loss of vitality. Yi Chen shook his head and thought to himself, the blood explosion spell is too powerful. It made me unconscious for 7 days and 7 nights. Fortunately, my body was strong enough, so I did not lose my qi and blood, and my meridians were not destroyed. Otherwise, it would not be easy to recover. Yi Chen had not used the 3,000-year-old blood sunflower yet, so he was not sure how effective it was. He planned to use it in a day or two when he was full of energy. Pushing open the door, Yi Chen came to the yard. The courtyard was no different from an ordinary family's courtyard. It wasn't too big, and it wasn't extravagant either. Opposite, it was a flower bed with dozens of beautiful flowers, including a few young blood sunflowers. Next to the flower bed was a row of sunflowers. They were taller than the courtyard wall, and they were in full bloom, facing the blazing sun. Bang, bang. After standing in the yard for a while, there was a knock on the door. Looking away, Yi Chen said, "Come in." Creak. The yard door, which was not locked, opened. Zhang Haoren and Wu Zongming walked in. "Yi Chen, are you all right?" It was Wu Zongming's first time coming to the shocking Cloud Peak. He looked around and found that other than the Great Elder's Hall, the other buildings were very ordinary. They could not even be considered as the mansion of an ordinary landlord. Yi Chen smiled and said, "It's you too." "I'm all right." Wu Zongming laughed. "It's good that you're all right. I thought there would be some side effects." That day, Yi Chen looked too scary. He was covered in blood, and his muscles were cracked. The loss of qi and blood made Wu Zongming wonder if Yi Chen had that much qi and blood. At this moment, Zhang Haoren said, "I'm here to apologize." "Apologize for what?" Yi Chen was surprised. Wu Zongming interrupted, "He's a stubborn man. We had a grudge in the past, and he always wanted to apologize. In my opinion, apologizing between men is too mushy. Besides, it's been so long. Why would we care about each other's frivolity when we were young?" 14 or 15 years old was the most impulsive age. At that age, they were very competitive and aggressive. It was inevitable that there would be conflicts and friction. If they were not careful, they would become enemies. Fortunately, there was not much conflict between the three of them. They just disagreed with each other. Yi Chen smiled. Wu Zongming is right. Everyone is frivolous. Zhang Haoren said seriously, "It's different this time. It's an official apology." "All right, I accept your apology. When dealing with a stubborn person, Yi-chun could not be in a deadlock with him, so he accepted the other party's apology. The three of them drank some tea and chatted casually. After about an hour, the two of them bid farewell. As soon as Zhang Haoran and Wu Zoming left, Luo Han's Han, Zhu Mei, and Su Jing arrived. Yi-chun, are you all right? Luo Han's Han asked. Except for a bit of weakness, I'm fine. Yi-chun's wounds were actually quite serious. But of course, with the help of the 3,000 years old blood sunflower, it was indeed not a big deal. He looked at Su Jing and saw that her arms were wrapped in bandages, hanging weakly on her waist. Yi-chun said gently, "Does it hurt?" Su Jing's face blushed slightly. Not at all. Yi-chun didn't say anything to express his gratitude. He knew that it would be too polite, and she would not want to hear it either. True gratitude did not need to be expressed. As long as it was in his heart, it was enough. Taking out 10 800-years-old blood sunflowers and 2,000 years old blood sunflowers from his storage ring, Yi-chun said, "You are cultivating a body-strengthening art, which requires enough qi and blood. These blood sunflowers are very beneficial to your qi and blood, so don't say no." After saying that, he grabbed Su Jing's slim hand and put the blood sunflowers into her storage ring. Su Jing lowered her head and bit her lower lip. Seeing this, a smile appeared on Zhu Mei's face. It was a smile that contained a trace of envy. Not good. Holding Su Jing's soft and boneless hand, Yi-chun wanted to check her injury. Her arm was almost boneless, and it was only connected by her qi and blood, so it was hard to describe how soft and boneless it was. If an ordinary martial artist were to suffer such a serious injury, they would basically be ruined for the rest of their lives. Fortunately, Su Jing had been cultivating a body-strengthening art, which gave her a powerful qi and blood. Therefore, the broken bones were healing at an almost imperceptible speed. However, if the bones were to heal on their own, it would take at least 3 to 5 years for them to fully recover. Moreover, even if they were fully healed, they would not be able to do any strenuous exercises, not to mention training martial arts. Frowning, Yi-chun was thinking about going out to look for some natural treasures that could heal bones. Although these natural treasures were even rarer than the 3,000 years old blood sunflowers, they were still available. But of course, it was not the right time yet. He was still too weak, and he had a powerful enemy like Jin Huang. Without being fully prepared, he would not be able to leave the Windy Nation for the time being. Luo Hanzhan winked at Yi-chun and said, "Zhu Mei and I still have something to do. You guys go ahead. I'll come to see you when I have time." After saying that, he left the yard with Zhu Mei. Yi-chun let out a bitter smile. Su Jing, who was sitting in front of him, had her head almost touching her chest. He had to find something to talk about, otherwise it would be very awkward. "Do you still remember that time when I came back from the Northwest Auction House? I borrowed your hand to train my body-strengthening art." After thinking for a while, Yi-chun started talking about the past. "Yeah." Su Jing listened quietly. The sky was getting dark. Yi-chun walked Su Jing to the mountaintop where Yi-chun lived. The night passed without any words. The next afternoon, the room was filled with a bright blood-golden aura. This aura was extremely strong. With just a single sniff, Yi-chun would feel warm and refreshed. In Yi-chun's sight, there was a water tank-sized lump of mud on the floor of the room. The mud was completely covered by the blood-golden color and was slightly translucent. Through the translucent mud, Yi-chun could see a palm-sized blood sunflower growing in it. The blood sunflower had a rich blood-golden color. It looked like gold or jade. It was shining brightly. "It's time for me to use you." Using his yun qi like a blade, Yi-chun cut open the mud and took out the 3,000 years old blood sunflower. Tearing off a small petal, Yi-chun took a deep breath and swallowed it. He then sat cross-legged on the bed and started to refine the medicinal energy. 3 days passed, and a blood-golden aura appeared on Yi-chun's body. Strands of it were like ribbons. This was the sign of the excess medicinal energy leaking out, as expected of a 3,000 years old blood sunflower. I still underestimated its medicinal energy. Just a small petal was able to completely replenish my qi and blood, and even improve it to the next level. What a pity that some of the medicinal energy leaked out and was wasted. Opening his eyes, Yi Chun had a regretful expression on his face. If it were Su Jing, then this would not have happened. It seemed like he would have to find a chance to send some over. After 7 months of closed-door training, Su Jing's strength had already crossed the 100,000 pounds threshold, leaving Yi Chun far behind. Her chi and blood were so powerful that even astral-reaching realm warriors would not be able to compete with her. If it were not for the minor blood demon body separating great art, he would have given her all of it. However, although my chi and blood have been replenished, the side effects are not completely gone. The blood explosion great art is not just a little bit harmful to martial artists. Yi Chun was not in a hurry. Sometimes, he would have to bear the consequences. It was something that could not be avoided. A lot of thoughts flashed through his mind as Yi Chun started to think about his own power. In terms of cultivation, he had reached the peak level of late clasping Yuan realm and was not far away from purifying Jin Yuan. It was a huge improvement, as his basic power would not be at a disadvantage for warriors below the astral reaching realm. In terms of martial arts, his green lotus sword spell had already reached the 10th level, and he had condensed 6 beams of green lotus sword chi in his body. Each beam was extremely powerful, and combined with his sword intent, he would be able to beat Yin Qihua and the others. Besides his cultivation and martial arts, the biggest breakthrough was his sword intent. Once the sword intent reached the late stage, each breakthrough would be extremely rare. As his sword intent reached the 80%, Yi Chun's overall power had increased drastically again. He already had the battling power to kill a peak-level early astral-reaching realm warrior, and he would be able to fight against a normal mid-astral-reaching realm warrior. Before, with his mysterious Jin Yuan and 70% sword intent, Yi Chun might be able to tear apart the defense of a mid-astral-reaching realm warrior, but his opponent was not a block of wood that would let him attack. Therefore, if he encountered a mid-astral-reaching realm warrior, he would not have any chance of winning. Instead, the possibility of him dying would be very high. Although right now, he might not be able to win against a mid-astral-reaching realm warrior, he would be able to fight against him for a while. My cultivation will not improve in a short period of time. My 80% sword intent has not stabilized yet. Right now, I will close up and train my green lotus sword spell. Yi Chun was very clear that the higher the cultivation realm, the earlier one could step into the Jin Yuan refining stage, and the faster the refining process would be. Right now, what he lacked was nothing else but cultivation base. If his cultivation base had been at early astral reaching realm during the bloody battle with Taoist Jin Huang, he would have been able to fight for a long time, and Su Jing wouldn't have broken the bones in her arms, temporarily crippling her. Cultivation is the way to go. Nothing else can be relied on. Sighing, Yi Chun decided to continue his closed-up training. He would train his green lotus sword spell to a higher realm first. Once he had enough basic power, he would think about other things. Before his closed-up training, Yi Chun went to the Misty Peak to talk to Cloud Dreamer and Thunder Freer. The two were his seniors and had helped him a lot. In this bloody battle, it was also thanks to their help. Cloud Dreamer had almost exploded himself, so it would not be right if he did not greet them. Seeing Yi Chun recover so fast, Cloud Dreamer and Thunder Freer were very happy. They thought that it would take at least a year and a half for Yi Chun to recover. Hearing that Yi Chun was going to continue his closed-up training, the two reminded him not to be too impatient because of the hatred in front of him. He needed to increase his power. Yi Chun told him not to worry. He had already planned for this closed-up training. In fact, if Jin Huang and Si Kongsheng had not come to the Sky Cloud Martial School, Yi Chun was planning to train for a year before coming out. Saying goodbye to the two, Yi Chun went to notify Su Jing and the rest before returning to the shocking Cloud Mountain and entering the training room inside the mountain. Chapter 306. His green lotus sword spell had reached the 10th realm under the pressure, but it was not that simple. Sometimes, the breakthrough of a martial art required not only the comprehensive ability, but also the explosive power. When the explosive power had nowhere to go, it would naturally follow the best path. But of course, one could not expect to be this lucky every time. Most of the time, The breakthrough of a martial art would have to be done step by step. Looking forward to the next 3 steps. Hoping for luck to come would be short-sighted after all. My body is almost recovered. Closing up should be no problem. The 3,000 years old blood sunflower was way too powerful. Even though he had lost a part of it, there was still a lot of it hidden deep inside his body, constantly nourishing his chi and blood. Right now, Yi Chun had to pay close attention to be able to sense some slight discomfort, which was slowly disappearing. Sitting on the stone platform with his legs crossed, he took out 2 mid-rank soul stones and held them in his hands, then closed his eyes. While Yi Chun was closing up, the Sky Cloud Martial School had started a big reorganization. This time, there were a lot of people who had run away from the Jin Huang incident. Among them, there were more than 1,000 outer disciples, 100 inner disciples, 50 outer masters, and 4 inner masters. Most of them had just joined the Sky Cloud Martial School, and they were not loyal enough yet. Therefore, Luo Xingli had decided to give those disciples a chance. They were still young after all, and their loyalty could be trained slowly. It was understandable that they would run away in a life-and-death situation. However, the elders who had run away would not be so lucky. If they lost this chance, they would never be able to join the Sky Cloud Martial School again. Especially the 4 inner masters. They had lived in the Sky Cloud Martial School for more than 10 years. Running away like this would make a lot of people feel ashamed. In the main hall, Luo Xinglia looked at Luo Hanshan and Zhu Mei, who were sitting in the middle of the hall. He cleared his throat and said, "Hanshan, Zhu Mei, you two have reached the clasping Yuan realm for a long time. It is not suitable for you to continue being the core disciples. Right now, there are some vacancies for the inner masters. Do you have any objections?" The requirement to become an inner master in the Sky Cloud Martial School was relatively low. As long as one had proven his power, he or she could become an inner master as long as they were at the mid-clasping Yuan realm. Although Luo Hanshan and Zhu Mei were only at the early clasping Yuan realm, their battling power was at the same level as mid-clasping Yuan realm warriors. Hanshan is fine. Zhu Mei has no objections either. Indeed, the two of them did not have any objections. Now that Yi Chun was a Grand Elder and Su Jing was a Core Elder, their statuses were extremely high. In formal occasions, they had to greet the two of them respectfully, which made them very uncomfortable. Now that they had become inner elders, the awkwardness was solved. HM, keep working hard. The Sky Cloud Martial School still needs you to survive. Yi Chun and Su Jing will most likely leave the Sky Cloud Martial School to train themselves. They will not be able to stay in the Sky Cloud Martial School for long. Luo Xinglia nodded. Lu Hanshan and Zhu Mei glanced at each other. A bitter smile appeared on their faces. It was not that they couldn't go out to train themselves, but in order to go to a bigger place, they would need to be qualified. For example, the clasping Yuan realm martial artists of the Windy Nation would basically stay in the Windy Nation to train themselves in a small area. Very few of them would go to other nations, and the same was true for the martial artists of other nations. Normally, the weaker a martial artist was, the smaller the area he could train himself in. In order to break this rule, a martial artist would have to have an extremely great potential, which would allow him to grow stronger quickly in a dangerous situation. Otherwise, even if he was one step late, he would be in mortal danger. They were clearly aware of their own potential, and even if they could barely survive, it would still be very difficult for them to grow stronger quickly. Instead of risking their lives, they would rather stay in the Windy Nation and occasionally go to other nations to train themselves. All of the martial geniuses were like a group of fish swimming against the current. After a while, there would be a group of fish that would fall behind, and after a while, there would be another group that would fall behind. The ones who could actually swim to the top could be counted on one hand. Yi Chun and Su Jing were without a doubt the leaders of this group of fish. The distance between them was getting further and further, and eventually they were out of their sight. The mountain peak was steep, and the wind was fierce. Su Jing, who was dressed in white, stood in the knife-like wind, wholeheartedly practicing her martial arts. Of course, since her arms were already crippled, it was impossible for her to practice fist arts. Instead, she practiced leg arts and lightness skills. It seemed to be caused by her personality and the martial arts she practiced. In the hands of Su Jing, any martial arts would become as powerful as a thunderbolt, full of power. Together with her slender and graceful figure, she gave people a unique feeling, like a small white flower in the cold winter. The biting cold wind was kicked away by the sharp, knife-like leg force, and the angular mountain peak was flattened. Su Jing's figure was sometimes fast and sometimes slow. When she was fast, she was like a shooting star, and when she was slow, she was like a floating paper crane. The combination of the two was quite harmonious, showing her extraordinary control over her body. Break! The leg force was like a knife. Su Jing's leg chopped down diagonally, hitting the edge of the mountain peak. With a cracking sound, a piece of the huge mountain peak was cut off. The cut surface was smooth and flat, and it was impossible to tell that it was caused by the leg force. Before he knew it, 2 months had passed, and Yichun was still in closed-up training. During this period of time, a few big things had happened in the Sky Cloud Martial School. The annual Inter-Disciple ranking competition had just finished, and a lot of talented disciples had been discovered. The core disciples had increased from 20 to 30, and among them, 3 had reached the Clasping Yuan Realm one after another. The reason they could reach the Clasping Yuan Realm was more or less because of the Dragon Fountain Qi. But more importantly, it was because they had decided to fight against Jin Huang, which had affected them a lot. Every single one of them could feel that their will had been strengthened, and it was hard to be shaken. Shocking Cloud Mountain. Inside the spacious secret room, Yichun slowly let out a breath. The breath was like a stream of soft sword qi shooting through the wall in front of him. I have reached the 11th realm of the Green Lotus Sword spell, and it took me even less time to reach the 8th realm from the 7th realm. According to Yi Chen's original estimation, reaching the 11th realm within half a year would already be very impressive. After the 10th realm of a top-rank Earth realm martial art, the next realm would get harder and harder to train. A lot of people would be stuck at the 10th realm for their entire lives, unable to make any progress. Some of the astral-reaching realm warriors who had trained top-rank Earth realm martial arts would only be stuck between the 12th and 13th realm, because in the later stages, it would not take a lot of time to make a breakthrough. It would require both luck and enlightenment. Sometimes, with a sudden inspiration, one might be able to make a breakthrough. The second is Green Lotus Sword spell broke through to the 11th realm. The 6th Green Lotus Zhun Qi in his Dantian slightly shook and had a qualitative change. The pinky-sized sword Qi was like a small fish covered with a layer of sharp Qi. The tip of the sword, Qi, even seemed to be spitting out a cold light. The kind of spirituality and sharpness made even Yichun admire it. He could imagine how powerful the Green Lotus Sword Qi would be when it reached the 13th realm. Cut! Pointing out his finger, the Green Lotus Sword Qi shot out of his finger along his meridians. It tore open a thin mark on the ground, and eventually flashed through a stone pillar in the secret room. Without a sound, a complete black line appeared in the middle of the stone pillar. If it were not for the support of the stone pillar underneath, the top half of the pillar would have fallen off without a doubt. So sharp, the stone pillar and the sword Qi did not even touch. Only the Qi of the sword Qi had swept through it, and it had already been cut in two. It was so silent. Yichun had seen it clearly. He secretly gasped. If the 11th realm of the Green Lotus Sword Qi was already this powerful, then the 13th realm would be even more powerful. No wonder the manual said that even if the Green Lotus Sword spell was separated, it would still be the top of the top-rank Earth realm martial art, only one step away from reaching the next realm. Right now, I am already at the peak level late Clasping Yuan realm, and I have been training the Green Lotus Sword spell. I can reach the Zhun Yuan refining stage at any moment. I have to push my martial art and my cultivation to the next level. By then, my power will increase exponentially. Taking a deep breath, Yichun closed his eyes and sank into his training mode again. Time flew like water. For months had passed since Yichun went into closed-up training for the second time. The Sky Cloud Martial School had officially walked out of the big reorganization. Everyone was united. Whether it was the core masters, the inner masters, the outer masters, the core disciples, the inner disciples, or the outer disciples, everyone looked refreshed. Many of the warriors who came to visit the Sky Cloud Martial School could already feel that kind of unbreakable aura before they even got close to the Sky Cloud Martial School. They could not help but click their tongues. On this day, a group of outer disciples who had gone to the Silent Hills for the training had hurried up the mountain with blood stains all over their bodies. "What's wrong? What happened?" An inner court disciple stopped them and asked with a frown. The leading outer disciple breathed heavily and said, "Not good. The number of beasts in the Silent Hills has increased a lot. Some of them have never been seen before. They are very different from normal beasts. We were attacked by a group of low-rank beasts when we just got in. 9 of us were killed. 9 people died? Let's go. I will take you to the main palace. You need to tell the leader and all the masters about the details. This is very important. We cannot afford to be careless." The Silent Hills had always been the training place for the outer disciples. The inner disciples would occasionally go there to look for some medicines as well. However, there had never been a situation where 9 disciples had died at once. 1 or 2 deaths in a couple of months was already the limit. After the group of outer disciples arrived at the main palace and told the leaders of the Sky Cloud Martial School what had happened, Luo Xinglie frowned a little and thought to himself, the outer part of the Silent Hills is not that dangerous. There are only 1 or 2 rank 7 beasts in the deeper part of the hills. This is very strange. The deepest part of the Silent Hills was listed as a forbidden area by the Sky Cloud Martial School. Everyone in the Sky Cloud Martial School knew about it. However, after this incident, the entire Silent Hills would probably be listed as a forbidden area. They would lose a great training place. The headmaster of the Sky Cloud Martial School suggested, "Leader, we should inform the great master first." Luo Xinglie nodded. "You go and gather everyone in the plaza. Tell them not to go to the Silent Hills for a while. We will talk about it after we know the result." "Yes." Cloud Dreaming Peak. After hearing Luo Xinglie's words, Cloud Dreamer exchanged a look with Thunder Freer. "Brother Thunder, you help me take care of the Sky Cloud Martial School. I will go to the Silent Hills to check it out. Do you want me to go with you?" "No need. Yi-chun is in closed-door training right now. He cannot be disturbed. The Sky Cloud Martial School needs someone to take care of it. Plus, I am quite familiar with the Silent Hills. If anything happens, I will come back immediately. Even a top-rank 7 beast would not be able to stop me." "All right then. You be careful." Thunder Freer knew about Cloud Dreamer's flying art. Although Cloud Dreamer was not as fast as him in a straight line, he was much better than him in other aspects. Chapter 307. On the main plaza, the headmaster saw that almost everyone had arrived, so he told everyone about what had happened in the Silent Hills. He then ordered everyone not to step into the Silent Hills and wait for the result of the investigation. What? 9 outer disciples had died in the outer area of the Silent Hills, and it was all at once. What had happened? The Silent Hills is not that far from the Sky Cloud Martial School. This year has been quite an eventful one for our Sky Cloud Martial School. What are you afraid of? It is only a beast. I hope the leader will gather us to hunt the beasts in the Silent Hills. It has been a long time since we last got some exercise. Don't be too confident. There are 1 or 2 rank 7 beasts in the deepest part of the Silent Hills. One of them is confirmed to be the ghost-faced demonic cow. As for the other one, no one knows for sure. Some say it is a rank 6 tyrant beast, while others say it is a rank 7 beast. 2 rank 7 beasts. It is indeed tricky. Fortunately, we have 2 peak level early astral reaching realm warriors and Brother Yi. No, I should call him the Great Master. Everyone was discussing, curious about what had happened in the Silent Hills. All right, everyone disperse. Remember, without orders, no one is allowed to come close or enter the Silent Hills. Otherwise, even if you do not die, you will be punished according to the school rules. The headmaster waved his hand, signaling everyone to disperse. Shoo! Right then, a white shadow flew into the sky from the cloud mountain, disappearing into the clouds. The headmaster could see it clearly. It was indeed the great master, Cloud Dreamer. Great Master, are you going to the Silent Hills? I wonder what the result will be. One day later, Cloud Dreamer had returned. His face was expressionless, and no one could tell anything from his expression. On the Cloud Mountain, Thunder Freer asked, Cloud Dreamer, did anything happen in the Silent Hills? I fought with the rank 7 ghost-faced demonic cow. This demonic cow is much more powerful than it was 10 years ago. The good thing was that the problem was not with it. Otherwise, even if you and I fought together, we might not be able to kill it. At most, we would only be able to push it back. Cloud Dreamer sat on the stone bench and took a sip of tea. You only fought with the demon-faced bull and didn't do anything else? Cloud Dreamer looked a bit serious. I don't know if it is my illusion, but half of the Silent Hills is covered by a layer of black chi. I think it is the reason why the beasts from other places are gathering here and going crazy. Unfortunately, we haven't found the source of the black chi yet. Plus, I might not be able to handle it by myself. Black aura, strange. Thunder Freer thought for a while and said, I'll go check it out tomorrow. Maybe I can find the source of the black chi. All right, let's take turns. When Yi Chun comes out of seclusion, we'll work together to search for him. After a month, Thunder Freer and Cloud Dreamer took turns to enter the Silent Hills to search for the source of the black chi. However, the chi was very uniform, and they couldn't tell where it was thicker. They couldn't find anything. Gradually, they started to get anxious. Recently, the beasts from the outer area of the Silent Hills had been attacking the villages and towns nearby. As the real ruler of the area within 10,000 miles, the Sky Cloud Martial School had the responsibility to protect them. If the area under their control was not safe, then where would the Sky Cloud Martial School's reputation go? Remember, although our Sky Cloud Martial School is one of the top 5 martial institutions, do not bully or look down on the disciples of other martial institutions or families. Anyone who breaks the rules will be punished. Do you hear me? On the main plaza, the top management of the Sky Cloud Martial School had a serious look on their faces. This incident was classified as a small area beast wave incident. Although it was not as big as a small beast wave, they still couldn't be careless. They had already notified all the leaders of the big cities within 10,000 miles, the leaders of all the big families, and some of the leaders of the non-ranked martial institutions. They were going to form an alliance army to kill more and more beasts and protect the safety of the ordinary people. Understood. After the incident with Jin Huang, everyone was not afraid of this small area beast wave. Instead, they were a bit excited and wanted to go there immediately. Within a blink of an eye, another month had passed. During this month, everyone from the Sky Cloud Martial School had had a very fulfilling life. Every day, there would be a huge amount of beasts walking out of the Silent Hills, attacking villages and towns. The people from the Sky Cloud Martial School who were guarding the villages and towns would join hands with the people from other forces in the nearby areas to kill the beasts. Cloud Dreamer and Thunder Freer took turns to patrol the battlefield. Of course, they did not join the battle, since the small area beast wave was not that dangerous. For warriors, it was a great training opportunity. Sometimes, there would even be a situation where there were not enough beasts to kill, and people would fight for the beasts. Seeing this, everyone let out a sigh of relief. Luckily, it was still under control. Maybe it was because of some reason that the number of beasts had increased and turned violent. Seriously speaking, this was not a beast wave. A real beast wave, even if it was a small one, was extremely dangerous. Every time it appeared, there would be a lot of casualties. It would not be like this, where everyone was fighting for the beasts. In a city near the Silent Hills, Cloud Dreamer smiled. The black chi was indeed strange, but as long as it was not too dangerous, he would have time to deal with it. In the afternoon, a horrifying roar suddenly came from the outer area of the Silent Hills. Then, the sky turned dark, and dark clouds appeared, covering the sun and the sky. Ghost-faced demonic cow. No, it is another rank 7 beast. Cloud Dreamer's heart slightly tightened. His Zhen Yuan was ready to explode, ready to burn at any second. After a while, 100-meter-long, jet black, giant snake slithered over at an extreme speed. Its body was covered with palm-sized black scales, and there was a curved horn on its head. There was a black chi flowing on that horn, which had stimulated the beasts nearby to become even crazier. Black chi is the sky demon snake. Cloud Dreamer looked a bit bad. The sky demon snake's defense was extremely powerful, and was almost invincible among the beasts at the same rank. If it were a rank 6 sky demon snake, then it would be the tyrant of the rank 6 beasts, which would be even more powerful than the wind beast. If it were a rank 7 beast, then it would be the tyrant of the rank 7 beasts. According to the rumors, the sky demon snake had the bloodline of the ancient beast, the demon dragon. Once it reached rank 7, it would be able to breathe out a black flame that was similar to a dragon's breath, which could burn everything. It was extremely horrifying. Even peak-level, mid-astral reaching realm warriors would have a headache facing it. The sky demon snake straightened up half of its body, opening its mouth and shooting out a bucket-thick dark light at Cloud Dreamer. On its way, the trees were shattered, and the ground cracked open, leaving behind a deep ravine. Open. Burning his Zhen Yuan, a sword appeared in his hand. Cloud Dreamer threw out a sword attack at the dark light. As for dodging, he did not even think about it, since there were hundreds of thousands of people in the city behind him. Boom! The dark light had been shattered, and Cloud Dreamer was blown dozens of meters away in the air. The sky demon snake stared at Cloud Dreamer with its vertical pupils. As it flicked its tongue, a black flame spread out, burning the air and turning it into a vacuum world. I did not expect that there would be such a rare sky demon snake in the Silent Hills. This snake must have reached rank 7 recently. Otherwise, it would be impossible for me not to notice it. The sky demon snake was born as a rank 5 beast, and it would grow into a rank 6 beast when it was young. During its growth period, it would become a rank 7 beast, and when it matured, it would become a rank 8 beast. Different from the normal beasts, once it reached its growth period, it would become extremely bloodthirsty and brutal. Wherever it went, blood would flow like a river. It was extremely aggressive, and it was born with the demonic nature, just like the ancient demon dragon, which was the symbol of killing and bloodthirst. I cannot handle a rank 7 sky demon snake, and I cannot save this city by myself. It seems like I will have to join hands with Brother Lei. It was an emergency situation, so Cloud Dreamer planned to lure the sky demon snake to a place not far away from the Sky Cloud Martial School. By then, Thunder Freer would definitely notice. Once he arrived, the two of them would be able to stall the sky demon snake for a while. Of course, Cloud Dreamer had other plans as well. Ichin had been in closed-up training for 6 months, and his power must have improved. If the three of them joined hands, there was still a chance for them to beat the sky demon snake back. Right now, it was the only choice they could make. Cloud-shattering sky cut. Thinking about that, Cloud Dreamer yelled out as he poured his burning Zhen Yuan into his great sword. He threw out an arc-shaped sword chi. Boom! The sword chi was bounced off by the sky demon snake scales, only leaving a small crack on it. Cloud Dreamer was secretly happy seeing that. This sky demon snake had just leveled up not long ago, so its defense was not that powerful. That way, they would have a higher chance of winning. The sky demon snake was furious and started to approach Cloud Dreamer. Cloud Dreamer kept fighting and backing out at the same time, gradually leaving that area. Hundreds of miles later, wherever the man and beast went, everything was in a mess. A lot of mountains had collapsed, and rivers had stopped flowing. From the beginning to the end, the sky demon snake had not spat out any black flame. It seemed like it had just reached rank 7 not long ago, so there was not much black flame left. All right, this is the place. Dozens of miles behind him was the Sky Cloud Martial School. Cloud Dreamer stopped moving and started to fight with the sky demon snake. The sword chi and the dark light were everywhere. Shoo! Cloud Dreamer was too agile. The sky demon snake obviously had the upper hand, but it still could not hit him within a short period of time. The sky demon snake rolled its eyes and opened its mouth again, shooting out a huge wave of black flame towards Cloud Dreamer's direction. The flames seemed to be alive, blocking all of Cloud Dreamer's escape routes. Cloud Dragon 9 turns. Twisting his body, Cloud Dreamer flashed 8 times before he managed to escape from the black flame. However, the long robe on his body had been brushed by the black flame and started to burn. Cloud Dreamer made a quick decision and cut off the burning long robe. The black flame could burn anything. Even if it was not dead, it would be crippled. The man and the beast were making too much noise. Thunder Freer, who was in the Sky Cloud Martial School, had sensed Cloud Dreamer's chi. His expression changed, and he flew out without saying a word. From afar, Thunder Freer saw the massive Sky Demon Snake. He performed his Sky Demon Great Art, burning his Zhen Yuan and forming the Sky Thunder Battle armor outside his body. Cloud Dreamer, let me help you. All right, be careful of its black flame. Shocking Cloud Mountain. Sitting on the stone platform, Yi Chun let out a breath. This time, the chi was even more intense than the last time. It went through the secret room directly and reached the edge of the mountain. It has been 6 months. I am afraid it will be hard to reach the 13th level in a short period of time. But it should be enough. With my current power, I will no longer need to be afraid of mid-astral reaching realm warriors. Standing up, Yi Chun waved his hand and the door of the secret room opened. His body flashed, disappearing within a blink of an eye. Chapter 308. Boom. Dozens of miles away from the Sky Cloud Martial School, the ground started to shake. Countless mountains were either pierced through by the dark light, cut down by the sword chi, or directly shattered into pieces. The battle between 2 peak-level early astral reaching realm warriors and a rank 7 beast Sky Demon Snake was extremely horrifying. Sky Thunder Strike. The Thunder Orb had accumulated enough Thunder Element Jin Chi. Thunder Freer yelled loudly as he controlled the Thunder Orb to shoot out arm-sized thunder and lightning towards the Sky Demon Snake. The thunder and lightning were like spears, leaving finger-sized cracks on the Sky Demon Snake scales. Tiny electric arcs kept flashing in the air. With the addition of Thunder Freer, Cloud Dreamer felt a lot more relaxed. However, up until now, the two of them could not do anything to the Sky Demon Snake's defense. Although the Sky Demon Snake had just leveled up, and it had not fully activated all of its potential as a rank 7 beast, the Demon Dragon bloodline was not a normal ancient beast bloodline. As its level increased, the Demon Dragon bloodline would bring more and more benefits. Right now, the Sky Demon Snake was almost at the same level as a rank 7 Tyrant Beast. Given some time, it would definitely surpass most of the rank 7 Tyrant Beasts. Cloud Dreamer, we can't. Even if we both attack with all of our power, we would not be able to break through its defense. Thunder Freer forced a smile. The Sky Demon Snake was only a small beast among the rank 7 snake-type beasts. However, compared to human beings, its hundreds of meters long body was already extremely huge. The tiny cracks on its scales would not be able to do any damage to it, unless they could break through its defense with one attack and get inside. After cutting down the head of the Sky Demon Snake, Cloud Dreamer flashed to the side and said while gasping for air, it would be impossible to break through its defense with one attack. We would have to attack a certain spot multiple times to hurt it. All right then, you give me a chance. Let me see if my Sky Thunder Strike can hurt it. The Sky Thunder Strike was Thunder Freer's most powerful ace attack. However, it was rarely used in battles, because it would take a long time to charge up and consume a lot of Jin Yuan. Basically, Thunder Freer could only perform it 2 or 3 times at his peak, and each attack would consume more than 30% of his Jin Yuan. On the other hand, the destructive power of the Sky Thunder Strike was extremely horrifying. It was a powerful ace attack that sacrificed all the other advantages. After a while, under Cloud Dreamer's control, Thunder Freer threw out a Sky Thunder Strike towards the Sky Demon Snake's neck. Gotcha! The Sky Demon Snake's neck had the most cracks. After that attack, the scales had finally cracked open. The lightning poured into the wound like a spear and exploded the Sky Demon Snake. Hissing into the Sky Demon Snake's body twisted together in pain. Like an earthworm that had just left the ground, it curled up and kept rolling. Of course, this kind of attack would not be able to wound it badly. It was only a flesh wound, but the pain was still very real. Who? In its fury, the Sky Demon Snake did not care about anything else. It opened its mouth and spat out a huge amount of black flame towards the two of them. The flame was ferocious like waves, covering the entire sky. Retreat. Cloud Dreamer and Thunderfreer turned around and flew away, increasing their speed to the limit. The fierce black flame followed closely behind them, less than 10 meters away from them. Green Lotus Sky. At this moment, a silhouette appeared on the side of the mountain peak. The silhouette reached the peak and swung his sword at the black flames. The void was frozen, and it was as calm as a lake. Numerous green lotuses formed by sharp airflows bloomed in the air, spreading out at an extremely fast speed and enveloping the black flames. Shoo! The power of the black flame was extremely horrifying. Pieces of green lotuses had been burned into ashes, and the peaceful void had been shaken up. Cracks had appeared in the vacuum space. However, after that, the power of the black flame had been completely removed. It could only keep burning. Yi-chun. A joyful expression flashed through Cloud Dreamer's face. His body flashed once, and Yi-chun appeared right next to the two. Senior Cloud Dreamer, Thunderfreer, what is going on? Right then, Cloud Dreamer told Yi-chun everything that had happened. Yi-chun glanced at the Sky Demon Snake. This is the Sky Demon Snake? It is indeed tricky. If we do not get out of the Silent Hills, it will always be a problem. He had heard about the Sky Demon Snake before. This kind of rank 7 beast with the bloodline of the demon dragon was extremely hard to kill. It had an unbelievably powerful life force. Although Yi-chun's power had increased drastically, and he could even fight against mid-astral reaching realm warriors, he was still far from being able to kill the Sky Demon Snake. Yi-chun, you have been in closed-up training for 6 months. What realm have you reached? Thunderfreer could not help but ask after seeing that the sword attack of Yi-chun was even more powerful than 6 months ago. It could almost trap an early astral reaching realm warrior who was burning his Zhun-chi to death. Yi-chun smiled lightly. The Zhun-chi inside his body started to circulate. Bits of broken light appeared on his protective Zhun-chi layer, which looked like precious stones and diamonds at the same time. They were crystal clear and extremely condensed. Because of the martial art, these broken light gave people an extremely sharp feeling. Half-step Xinyuan? You have reached the level where you can purify Xinyuan. Cloud Dreamer and Thunderfreer's eyes brightened. Yi-chun was different from them. They were battling with their cultivation and were not that outstanding in other aspects. However, Yi-chun was top of the top in other aspects besides his cultivation. Therefore, even if there was only a slight breakthrough in his cultivation, his battling power would increase tremendously. Yi-chun said, right now, I am in the first Zhun-yuan purification stage, but I have not finished it yet. Training a top-rank Earth Realm martial art would require 2 Zhun-yuan purification stages. Right now, it was Yi-chun's first Zhun-yuan purification process. Judging on cultivation, he was still a bit weaker than Sikong Sheng. But soon, after the first Zhun-yuan purification, there would be no difference between him and Sikong Sheng in terms of cultivation. Among the young generation of the South River region, he would be at the top in every aspect. Cloud Dreamer was overjoyed. Great. As long as you enter the Zhun-yuan purification stage, you will not be far from reaching the astral reaching realm. By then, as long as late astral reaching realm warriors do not show up, no one would be able to compete with you. Before, the Sky Cloud Martial School was just normal and would not attract any attention. But now, the Sky Cloud Martial School had an endless amount of luck, which would make people jealous. Just him and Thunderfreer alone would not be enough. This time, if it were not for the powerful warriors who had come to save them, the Sky Cloud Martial School would have been destroyed already. Therefore, Yi-chun's improvement had greatly reduced the pressure on him. Senior Cloud Dreamer, don't worry. That day will not be far away. The higher the realm of the martial arts, the shorter the Zhun-yuan purification time would be. In 6 months, Yi-chun had trained his Green Lotus Sword spell to the 12th realm. He believed that after the first Zhun-yuan purification, it would be able to reach the 13th realm, and the second Zhun-yuan purification time would be much shorter. As for what Thunderfreer had said before, even with a top-rank Earth Realm martial art, it would still take 3 to 4 years to reach the astral reaching realm. It was because he did not think that many people would be able to train their martial arts beyond the 10th realm at the clasping Yuan realm, not to mention Yi Chen's 12th realm. Plus, the Green Lotus Sword spell was almost a heaven realm martial art, so 3 to 4 years was obviously not needed. Roar! The sky demon snake recovered from the pain and shot out a bucket-thick dark light towards Yi Chen. The dark light split open the air, creating a vacuum tunnel. Cut! The sky-shattering cloud sword movement operated according to the poetic perspective of thunder and clouds. Yi Chen held his sword with both of his hands, throwing out a sword attack towards the dark light. Swoosh! The dark light was split into two, shooting through 2 mountains on the left and right respectively. Be careful of its black flame. Do not touch it. Cloud Dreamer reminded. Yi Chen nodded. This sky demon snake was not as scary as the rumors said it to be. It should be because it had just reached the next level. However, its battling power was obviously at the mid-astral reaching realm, and its defense had reached the rank 7 Tyrant Beast level. Normal mid-astral reaching realm warriors would have to run for their lives if they ran into it. However, Yi Chen was confident that he could beat it back. During the competitions of the Hidden Dragon rank, he had trained a high-rank Earth realm martial art, the Mysterious Great Art. Although it was not as powerful in other aspects, his battling power was already equivalent to a normal early astral reaching realm warrior. Right now, he had entered the Zhen Yuan refining stage. Without using the minor blood demon body separating great art, he would be able to compete with early astral reaching realm warriors who were burning their Zhen Yuan. Once he used it, his battling power would reach beyond the early astral reaching realm and reach the mid-astral reaching realm. Of course, if a mid-astral reaching realm warrior were to burn his Zhen Yuan, it would still be quite horrifying. Yi Chen's battling power was still below average. He would not be able to compete with the older mid-astral reaching realm warriors like the Black Crow Man. He could only fight against normal mid-astral reaching realm warriors. Once he reached the astral reaching realm, everything would be clear. He would truly not be afraid of mid-astral reaching realm warriors. As long as a late astral reaching realm warrior did not show up, there would not be many people who could do anything to him, including some of the freakishly powerful mid-astral reaching realm warriors. Who, seeing that the dark light could not do anything to Yi Chen, the sky demon snake did not plan to shoot out that extremely hard to form black flame. Instead, it slightly lowered its head, and a black light appeared on its horn, shaking the entire space. Boom! A pile of black chi flow poured out of its horn, eventually turning into a demonic dragon chi flow, attacking towards Yi Chen. Blood demon body, separation. The blood-red half-step Zhen Yuan shot out into the sky, and Yi Chen's aura increased drastically. Judging from his appearance alone, he looked even more horrifying than an early astral reaching realm warrior. Along with his aura, there's also a sword intent that had spread out in the air. The sword intent had been condensed into one beam, which was even more threatening. He did not perform his kill heart sword attack. Although it was more horrifying than the first ace attack of the Green Lotus Sword art, it was under the premise that he could not perform his minor blood demon body separation great art. Therefore, he would only be able to perform 80% of its power. Therefore, it was not as powerful as the second half of the Green Lotus Sky, Green Lotus Accumulation. Shoo! A fist-sized Green Lotus shot out along with Yi Chen's attack. It drew a thin black line in the air, landing heavily on that demonic dragon chi flow. The demonic dragon chi flow roared into the sky, opening its mouth to bite the Green Lotus, wanting to swallow it whole. Pooh! The demonic dragon chi flow had been pierced through completely, and the Green Lotus came out from its tail. The remaining power did not disappear, blowing the sky demon snake back into the air and shattering a mountain. After shattering the demonic dragon chi flow with one punch, Yi Chen chased after it. His mysterious Zhen Yuan, which had already been converted by half into Green Lotus Zhen Yuan, poured into his Star Scar sword through his meridians. Cut! While the iron was still hot, Yi Chen threw out his most powerful ace attack to the sky demon snake, not giving it any chance to fight back. Chapter 309. Yi Chen's green lotus accumulation did not do much damage to the sky demon snake, which was only equivalent to a normal attack from a mid-astral reaching realm warrior. But once he had activated his mysterious Zhen Yuan, Yi Chen's attacking power had increased drastically, reaching the peak level of mid-astral reaching realm. With one attack, the sky demon snake's huge body had been pushed into the ground directly. Blood spurted out like a fountain, dyeing the collapsed mountain red. There is still a trace of Zhen Yuan in the Zhen Qi spiral, which is the seed to regenerate a drop of Zhen Yuan. It would take me 3 days to do that. If I cannot beat it, then I'll have to fight it again after 3 days. I do not believe that it would be able to recover within 3 days. Before, it would take Yi Chen at least half a month to regenerate a drop of Zhen Yuan. But after entering the Zhen Yuan refining stage, it would only take him 3 days. In other words, every 3 days, he would be able to perform a Zhen Yuan attack. Boom! The ground cracked open as the sky demon snake crawled out from the ground. There was a long and narrow sword mark on its forehead, with blood pouring out of it. What a powerful defense! I am afraid that even late astral reaching realm warriors would not be able to kill it easily. That attack, just now, was already Yi Chen's limit. Since it did not want to back out, then they would have to work together and force it back into the Silent Hills. Let's do it together. If there are too many wounds on the skin, it would cause internal injuries as well. With the help of Yi Chen, Cloud Dreamer did not think it would be that hard to beat back the Sky Demon Snake. With the 3 of them working together, it would be more than enough to suppress it. All right, let's do it together. Thunder Freer was accumulating the Zhen Yuan for his Sky Thunder attack. After a while, the Sky Demon Snake finally decided to back out. Its upper body had been attacked by the 3 of them together, and there was almost no place left unscathed. It was covered with sword marks and burn marks. Plus, it had been losing blood for a long time, which had consumed a lot of its energy. It was not as powerful as before, and it was getting more and more tired. As the Sky Demon Snake backed out, the 3 of them followed right behind it, watching it escape into the Silent Hills. Outside of the Silent Hills, Cloud Dreamer and Thunder Freer had stopped burning their Zhen Yuan and were gasping for air. Burning Zhen Yuan was a heavy burden for astral-reaching realm warriors. Each time they burned their Zhen Yuan, they would need to spend a lot of time to recover. If the burning time was too long, they would also need to use great medicines to nourish their meridians and flesh. Otherwise, after a long period of time, it would be hard for them to train. Compared to them, Yi Chen was much more relaxed. The medicinal power of the 3,000-year-old blood sunflower was too strong. Now, he did not even need to deliberately swallow the blood sunflower. The medicinal power of the blood sunflower hidden in his body would automatically nourish his qi and blood. And with the continuous consumption and replenishment, Yi Chen's qi and blood were clearly much more vigorous. Compared to 6 months ago, there was a huge improvement. As for the side effects of performing the minor blood demon body separating great art, it had also disappeared, since the medicinal power of the blood sunflower was constantly nourishing Yi Chen's body. No matter how many side effects there were, they would all be gone and would not affect Yi Chen at all. The blood sunflower that was less than 1,000 years old would have 3 petals, and the 3,000-year-old one would have 9 petals. Before, I had only swallowed a small half of the petals, and it already had such a lasting effect. There are still 8 petals left, which should be enough for me to use for a long time. Sending 2 or 3 petals to Su Jing should be fine. Although Su Jing had a slim body, and her bones were not that thick, her qi and blood were at least 3 times more powerful than Yi Chen's. As long as she did not run out of qi and blood, her physical strength and wounds would be able to recover very quickly. If she ran into a powerful opponent, she would be able to slowly kill him. In the future, when she traveled across the true spirit continent, she would be able to protect herself. Watching the Sky Demon Snake disappear into the Silent Hills, Cloud Dreamer turned around and said to Yi Chen and Thunder Freer, "In the coming days, the Sky Cloud Martial School will not be peaceful. Let's go back and heal our bodies first and get ready to fight the Sky Demon Snake until we drive it out of the Windy Nation." That's the only way. Thunder Freer nodded. Yi Chun then said, in about 3 days, I will be able to recover 1 drop of Zhen Yuan in my body. After that, I will go and find it every 3 days until it dies. The Sky Demon Snake's defense was way too powerful. When it used its Zhen Yuan attack, Yi Chun's attacking power was at least 2 to 3 times more powerful than a Sky Thunder attack. However, it could only slightly wound the Sky Demon Snake, and could not severely wound it. Of course, compared to Thunder Freer and Cloud Dreamer, Yi Chun's attacking power was already quite powerful. After all, the two of them had been fighting against the Sky Demon Snake for a long time, and they had only managed to injure it a little. If it were not for Yi Chun, the two of them would not be able to do anything to the Sky Demon Snake, and would instead be killed by it. Recovering 1 drop of Zhen Yuan in 3 days? So fast. Cloud Dreamer was shocked. He had read the mysterious Great Art Manual that Yi Chun had left behind, but until now, no one had trained it to the 11th level. Only Yi Chun had reached this level. However, according to his understanding, it would take a long time to condense 1 drop of Zhen Yuan. The fact that Yi Chun was able to condense 1 drop of Zhen Yuan in 3 days was probably related to his cultivation and the level of his martial art. Yi Chun nodded and asked, who else in a martial school has trained the mysterious Great Art? There are quite a lot of people who have trained it. There is 1 core master for inner masters and 1 core disciple. But only the core master, Master Wu, has trained it to the 9th level. The rest of them are all below the 8th level. Oh, I see. Yi Chun said, I have a lot of knowledge about the mysterious Great Art. I know every breakthrough method like the back of my hand. If they have time, let them come to my shocking Cloud Mountain tomorrow. I will teach them personally. If they can train it to the 11th level at the Clasping Yuan realm, then their extreme battling power will increase drastically. That would be great. You train everything fast, and the breakthrough method is without a doubt the best. With your guidance, they will be able to save a lot of time and effort. Cloud Dreamer stroked his beard, his face full of smiles. The mysterious Great Art did not have much of an effect on astral-reaching realm warriors, since all they had was Zhen Yuan inside their bodies, and they did not need to condense it. However, for Clasping Yuan realm warriors, 1 drop of Zhen Yuan could increase their extreme attacking power drastically. Even if they could not handle a single attack from an astral-reaching realm warrior, they would at least be able to kill a powerful peak-level late Clasping Yuan realm warrior. Covering the 10,000 miles radius of the Sky Cloud Martial School, the Beast Wave did not have much of a destructive power. Many of the powerful parties were even a bit happy, since the more beasts there were, the more opportunities for their disciples to train. For this reason, all of the powerful parties had come together and made a rule that they could get rewards based on the number of beasts they had killed in order to stimulate everyone's enthusiasm. After looking around for a while, the 3 realized that the Allied army had the situation under control, and they did not need to worry about it. So they went back to the Sky Cloud Martial School. The second day, on the shocking Cloud Mountain. Master Yi, I have trained a mysterious Great Art for more than 2 years, but I have been stuck at the 9th level. I cannot make a breakthrough. Inside the Great Master's palace, the core master, Master Wu, cupped his fists and bowed to Yi Chun, then told him about his problem. Yi Chun said, you try to activate your martial art. Let me have a look. Yes. Master Wu took a deep breath. The Jin Qi inside his body was activated according to the 9th level of the mysterious Great Art. After scanning with his soul power, Yi Chun found out the problem and said, the main point of the mysterious Great Art is to condense. Your Jin Qi has a tendency to scatter. In this way, even if you have 3 to 5 years, you might not be able to make a breakthrough to the 10th level, not to mention the 11th level. Immediately, Yi Chun told Master Wu the details of the breakthrough method. Because of his powerful soul power, he was able to see the problem in detail. Master Wu could understand it easily, and could not help but thank him again and again. He was very impressed by Yi Chun. Following that, the 4 inner court elders also came over one by one to lay out their questions. After the 4 left, the only core disciple who had trained the mysterious Great Art, Jingzhu, walked in. Yi Chun was not surprised at all. After the incident with Jin Huang, there were two more core disciples who had reached the clasping Yuan realm. One was Blood Shadow Blade Meng Chong, and the other was indeed Jing Ju. Only clasping Yuan realm warriors could have the right to train the top martial arts of the martial school. In the beginning, when Yi Chun had just risen, Jing Ju was ranked 4th among the core disciples. He was cold and had a rich battling experience, so it was reasonable for him to reach the clasping Yuan realm first. In a couple of months, Jing Ju had already reached the 4th level of the mysterious great art. He wanted to improve faster, so he came to the shocking Cloud Mountain where Yi Chun was. It was not easy to reach the 5th level from the 4th level, but with Yi Chun's guidance, it could at least shorten the time. Jing Ju was also a martial genius in the Sky Cloud Martial School, so he could spend even less time. After Jing Ju left, Yi Chun closed the door of the Great Master's Palace and headed to Su Jing's mountain. On top of the mountain, Su Jing was practicing her leg art. Yi Chun watched quietly for a while, then nodded silently. Su Jing's talent was only second to him in the Sky Cloud Martial School, and even in the entire Windy Nation, she was only second to him. Her understanding of martial arts could not be compared to normal people at all. Even Yi Chun could not see any flaws in her martial arts. "You are here." It was like there was a layer of membrane between the two, and without breaking it, Su Jing was always a bit shy when she saw Yi Chun. She was not as straightforward and calm as she used to be. Right now, they were more like friends than friends, and more like lovers. It was not quite accurate to say that they were lovers, since neither of them had expressed their feelings for each other clearly. Yi Chun thought that it was enough for them to maintain their current relationship. Yi Chun smiled. He took out 3 petals of the blood sunflower and a bottle of medicine. He said, "These petals are 3,000 years old blood sunflower petals. The medicine is 10 times more effective than 1,000 years old blood sunflower. This medicine can preserve the life of the petals, and it will be very helpful for your body training. What about you?" Su Jing knew that Yi Chun's minor blood demon body, separating great art, was very dangerous, and it would require even more spirit medicines than her. Yi Chun said, "I still have some here. It should be enough for a long time." Hearing him, Su Jing did not reject anymore, but the blush on her face was even more obvious. The two chatted for a while in the Core Master Palace. When the sky was getting dark, Yi Chun returned to the shocking Cloud Mountain and continued to figure out the method to break through the 13th level of the Green Lotus Sword spell. After 3 days, Yi Chun ran to the Silent Hills alone, trying to find the Sky Demon Snake. The Sky Demon Snake had been hiding quite well, hiding underground. No wonder it had not been discovered for so many years. Unfortunately, it had run into Yi Chun. Following the direction of the Black Chi, Yi Chun arrived at the general area. He then scanned with his soul power, and the Sky Demon Snake's tracks were immediately exposed. Without any hesitation, Yi Chun performed his minor blood demon body, separating great art, and fought with the Sky Demon Snake that had not fully recovered yet. In the end, he pushed his Jun Yuan and gave it a brutal attack before leaving. The Sky Demon Snake had been beaten by Yi Chun until it had lost its temper. It had toned down a lot and did not dare to walk out of the Silent Hills. However, since it had inherited a lot of the bloodline of the Demon Dragon, it would not be able to vent its desire without killing. Therefore, it could only vent its anger on other beasts. Just like that, Yi Chun came once every 3 days and left right after the fight. Soon, another 2 months had passed. He was not far away from breaking through the 13th level of the Green Lotus Sword spell, and the first Jun Yuan purification was also coming to an end. By then, his battling power would reach the next level. However, the recovery speed of the Sky Demon Snake was a bit out of Yi Chun's expectation. Although every time he went, the Sky Demon Snake would get even more wounded, it was still able to maintain the situation. Yi Chun suspected that there must be something that could speed up the Sky Demon Snake's recovery. Perhaps it was also the main reason why it could reach rank 7. If he did not find that thing, then the battle would not be finished in a short time, and it would become a long battle. Chapter 310. Inside the training room, Yi Chun sat on top of the stone platform with his legs crossed. The half-step Jin Yuan inside his body was vibrating at a slight frequency. Each time it vibrated, the impurities inside the half-step Jin Yuan would decrease a bit. Correspondingly, the total amount of half-step Jin Yuan would decrease as well, but it was still not as much as when he had just reached late clasping Yuan realm. Of course, although the amount of half-step Jin Yuan had decreased, as the quality increased, his battling power would still increase. After a long while, the vibration disappeared. Bits of broken light shone out of Yi Chen's body, which took up almost half of his total. It meant that the first Jin Yuan purification had finished, and what he had right now was the true half-step Jin Yuan, which was still weaker than before. The first Jin Yuan purification has finished. There will still be some time before I can start the second one. But by then, I should have reached the 13th realm of the Green Lotus Sword spell. Letting out a sharp breath, Yi Chen's body released the aura of a powerful warrior. It was weaker than an astral-reaching realm warrior, but obviously different from the aura of a clasping Yuan realm warrior. Standing up, Yi Chen waved his fist. The fist that contained half-step Jin Yuan tore apart the air, creating an ear-piercing sound. Before, when I was still weak, there was a huge gap between my normal attacking power and my extreme attacking power. But now, the gap is shrinking. Once I finish the second Jin Yuan purification, my whole body will be filled with Jin Yuan, and then there will be no extreme attacking power anymore. Burning my Jin Yuan will be the extreme attacking power. Just half-step Jin Yuan had already made Yi Chen feel what it meant to be powerful. Every inch of his body had been refined by the half-step Jin Yuan, and it had become extra tough. He could imagine how powerful his body would be after he reached the astral-reaching realm. It would also explain why astral-reaching realm warriors could burn their Jin Yuan, since burning their Jin Yuan would increase their battling power, which would be even more powerful than the minor blood demon body, separating great art. Without a powerful body, one would not be able to handle it. Thinking of this, Yi Chen suddenly understood how terrifying a body-forging cultivation method was. Body-forging cultivation methods mainly focused on physical strength, and did not pay much attention to Jin Qi and Jin Yuan. However, there would still be Jin Qi and Jin Yuan in one's body, but it would be much less than other martial artists of the same level. However, a strong body would allow them to burn their Jin Yuan for a longer period of time, and it would not be easy for them to suffer a backlash. 3 days have passed. It is time for me to find the sky demon snake to practice with. It should not be easy this time. Battling power needed to be demonstrated in real battles. Looking for Cloud Dreamer and Thunder Freer was not suitable for him, and they would not satisfy his needs either. The Sky Demon Snake, with its strong defense, was without a doubt the best training partner for him. Xiao, on the shocking cloud peak, Yi Chen extended his body and flew towards the Silent Hills. There was a vague black chi covering the entire Silent Hills. If one did not sense it carefully, one would not be able to sense it. Scanning with his soul power, Yi Chen could easily locate the Sky Demon Snake's location according to the direction of the black chi flow, since it had not left its original spot at all. Strange. If it was once or twice, it would be understandable. But after so many times, it still does not plan to change its location. Is it waiting for me to go up there? Or is there something there? With suspicion, Yi Chen did not hide his chi at all as he flew over at extreme speed. Deep inside the Silent Hills, there was a deep underground cave. This cave was indeed the nest of the Sky Demon Snake. Cut. Taking out his Star Scar sword, Yi Chen threw out a sword attack. Crack! The 100-meter-long sword chi shot out, leaving a huge sword pit on the ground. The intense vibration had caused the cave to collapse. Moo! Shoo! 2 completely different beast roars were heard. Then, the ground cracked open, and a huge bull-like beast rushed out, followed by a 100-meter-long black snake with a sharp horn. It was indeed the Sky Demon Snake that had the bloodline of the Demon Dragon. That bull-like beast should be the famous ghost-face demonic cow in the Silent Hills. It managed to get the ghost-face demonic cow to help. Unfortunately, its power was only equivalent to peak-level early astral-reaching realm, which was only slightly more powerful than Cloud Dreamer and Thunder Freer. it would not be able to handle my attacks at all. Ichin did not know how the Sky Demon Snake managed to get the other tyrant of the Silent Hills, but one rank 7 beast would not affect him much, unless it was a rank 7 tyrant beast. Moo! The ghost-faced demonic cow attacked first. It stomped on the ground with its hoof, and a powerful beast chi shockwave attacked towards Yichun. Blood demon body disintegration. A blood-red half-step Zhen Yuan exploded from his body, and Yichun's battling power increased drastically. He cut open the beast chi shockwave with one sword attack, and returned the attack back to the ghost-faced demonic cow. Pap! The sword chi was shattered, and the Sky Demon Snake used its tail to block in front of the ghost-faced demonic cow, blocking out the attack for it. However, it had underestimated the power of Yichin's sword chi, and the scales on its tail were all cracked open. Blood poured out of the wound, and it was not a light wound. All of you get in. Green Lotus Sky. The first half of the Green Lotus sword art had been performed, and the surreal space had been frozen. Layers of chi flow formed a green lotus that spread out, covering both the ghost-faced demonic cow and the Sky Demon Snake. The next second, the green lotus turned into a sword rain and attacked on the two's bodies crazily, bringing up a clear, clanging sound. The ghost-faced demonic cow's defense was not as powerful as the Sky Demon Snake's after all. It could not even handle the first half of the ace attack. Countless bone-deep sword marks appeared on its body, and it kept making a muffled moan. The Sky Demon Snake was furious. It opened its mouth and let out a black flame that could burn anything. The green lotus turned into a sword rain and was burned into ashes. The frozen surreal space had also been shattered, disappearing into nothingness. Green lotus accumulation. Cut! A fist-sized green lotus formed on the tip of the sword. Yichin waved his sword towards the ghost-faced demonic cow, preparing to take out one first. The ghost-faced demonic cow had never seen such a powerful clasping Yuan realm warrior. It regretted coming to help the Sky Demon Snake, but it was already too late. It had no choice but to use its hardest horn to block out the incoming green lotus, hoping that it would be able to block out the attack. Kacha! The ghost-faced demonic cow's horn was broken, and a huge amount of blood poured out of its mouth and nose. Die! The Silent Hills was not far from the Sky Cloud Martial School. A rank 7 demonic beast was a threat after all. It was hard to guarantee that it would not lose its mind and start to attack. Yichun planned to take care of it right here and now. He turned his body, avoiding the Sky Demon Snake's counterattack, and threw out a sword attack towards the ghost-faced demonic cow. The sword chi was like a pillar, and it was indeed the Kill Heart Sword. Pooh! There was no way that the ghost-faced demonic cow could block out the extremely fast Kill Heart Sword. A sword hole appeared on its stomach, and it was so cold that it felt like it had been killed. With its ally dead, the Sky Demon Snake went crazy. For the past 2 months, it had been wounded almost every day, and it was all thanks to Yichun. If it were not for him, it would have been killing everywhere, enjoying the experience brought by killing and gradually activating the Demon Dragon bloodline inside its body. Once the potential of the Demon Dragon bloodline was activated to its limit, it would become a real tyrant of rank 7 demonic beasts. It would be way more powerful than normal tyrants of rank 7 demonic beasts, and it would be ready to reach rank 8. Swoosh! The black flames spread out, forming a burning firestorm. Wherever it went, the ground was burned through, and the air was burned out, turning into a vacuum world. The Green Lotus Sky art might not be able to stop the black flame. I will have to attack with brute force. Taking a deep breath, Yichun jumped up from the ground. The mysterious Zhen Yuan, no, it should be called the Green Lotus Zhen Yuan. The Green Lotus Zhen Yuan poured into the Star Scar sword through the meridians in his arm, pushing out a beam of blood-red sword chi. The blood-red sword chi sliced open the black flame, landing heavily on the Sky Demon Snake's forehead. Blood was pouring out of its forehead like a pillar, but the Sky Demon Snake did not care about it all. Its body jumped into the black flame that it had spat out, and with the help of the flame, it threw out a tail attack. Yichun was too busy dealing with the black flame that could burn anything, so he did not have the time to dodge. He was smashed into the ground by the sky demon snake's tail. Originally, Yichen was planning to rush out immediately, but he sensed that the black chi under the ground was hundreds of times denser than the black chi on the ground. He was confused. Maybe this black chi is not coming from the sky demon snake, but something else? Because of the black chi flowing on the sky demon snake's sharp horn, Yichen had always thought that the sky demon snake was the main reason why the beasts in the Silent Hills had gone crazy. But right now, he had overturned his own conclusion. The thing deep underground was the real reason why the beasts had gone crazy. The sky demon snake could reach rank 7 beasts and recover at an extremely fast speed, and it was probably because of this thing. Without paying attention to the sky demon snake, Yichun released his soul power, flying towards the source of the black chi. Every time he saw something in the way, he would cut it open with his sword. The sky demon snake could not wait for Yichun to come out, so panic and anger flashed through its eyes. It twisted its body and dove into the ground, trying its best to reach the thing it was guarding. It was getting closer and closer. Yichun's soul power had finally scanned the source of the black chi. It was a flower, a black flower. The black flower was the size of a basin, and each of its petals seemed to be very heavy. It was releasing a very intense black chi, which was in the form of a mist at first. As time went on, it started to dilute into a gaseous form, and then slowly spread out, seeping out of the ground and onto the ground. So, this is the thing that the sky demon snake was guarding? Why is there a heartbeat? Yichun tried to sense it carefully, and his expression changed. He could sense that the black flower was like a heart, vibrating rhythmically. The frequency of that vibration was similar to a heartbeat, but much stronger. Every time it vibrated, the soil around it would vibrate like a drum. It should not be a normal medicine. Let's pick it first. Yichun could tell that the black flower had already matured, and picking it would not harm the medicine. Plus, if he just left it there, the sky demon snake's wounds would continue to recover. Rumble. No one knew when, but the sky demon snake had caught up. Seeing that Yichun had discovered the black flower, it roared extremely shrilly. Its evil eyes were filled with killing intent, which was the killing intent of the demon dragon's bloodline. After such a long time of accumulation, that killing intent had finally exploded. The ground was burnt through, and the black flame turned into a horrifying demon dragon's shape, sweeping out. Even if it were Yichun, he would be killed immediately without any chance of survival. Chapter 311. Being underground, Yichun's dodging speed would definitely be affected. Seeing the black flame coming at him like an evil demon dragon, Yichun stomped on the ground with his back facing the black flower, holding his star scar sword with both of his hands. Green Lotus Light. This attack focused more on defense than offense. A bathtub-sized green lotus appeared and gathered on the blade of the star scar sword, covering Yichun's whole body. Boom! The black flame could burn anything, but the thickness and defense of the green lotus could not be underestimated either. All of a sudden, there was a subtle balance between the two. No matter how aggressive the flame was, it could not break Yichun's sword attack defense right away, and could only slowly erode it. Seeing that its ace attack could not do anything to Yichun, a murderous light flashed through the sky demon snake's eyes. A black flame appeared on its tail as well, looking like a burning fire column. As it swept across, the air in the whole cave had been burned into nothingness, and the resistance had been reduced to an extreme. Boom! The green lotus exploded, and Yichun was blown away. However, this result was obviously within his expectation. As he was flying backward, he made a grabbing gesture in the air. That basin-sized black flower was pulled out by the roots, falling into his storage ring. Once the black flower disappeared, the black chi had become the source of everything. The first one to sense it was naturally the sky demon snake. It opened its mouth and let out an ear-piercing scream, which was filled with anger that it had never felt before. Yichun had stopped it from killing and trapped it in the Silent Hills, but it had not lost its mind yet. However, the black flower was its life, the key to its growth. Once it was taken away, it would be impossible for it to grow fast, which would be the same as cutting off its potential. Therefore, at that moment, the sky demon snake had completely lost its mind. The remaining black flame inside its body continued to pour out, covering Yi Chun and the cave. Break! Throwing out a sword attack, a tiny crack appeared in the black flame. Yi Chun pushed his separating shadow, flying art, to its limit. After flashing once, he jumped out of the crack and landed on the ground. The sky demon snake jumped right after him, carrying the burning flame towards Yi Chun. It looked like it would not stop until it was dead. No one could stop it. Let's see how long you can last without this flower. Since his green lotus Jin Yuan had been used up, Yi Chun could not hurt the sky demon snake with one attack. However, the black flame was not endless, so Yi Chun was not afraid of anything happening to himself. Stepping lightly on the ground, Yi Chun soared into the sky and turned into a wisp of black smoke. A man and a beast chased each other. Wherever they went, mountains would collapse, forests would be destroyed, and the ground would be plowed open with a 10-meter wide and infinitely long mark. Getting out of the silent hills, the sky demon snake suddenly gave up on chasing Yi Chun. Instead, it flew towards the nearby cities, its eyes filled with cruelty. Yi Chun was a little dazed, but he soon realized what the sky demon snake was thinking. It was planning to slaughter humans and force him to give up the black flower. If he could not do anything to it, then he would indeed be in a dilemma. If he did not give up the flower, then 1 or 2 cities would definitely be destroyed. If he gave up the flower, then he would be helping a tyrant. The brutality of the sky demon snake had been proven in history. Every time a sky demon snake grew up, countless creatures would be killed. This kind of beast was closer to a demon and had a horrifying evil nature inside of it. This time, they had Yi Chun. Without him, no one knew what would have happened to the Sky Cloud Martial School. With just Cloud Dreamer and Thunder Freer, they could only delay it for a while. A rank 7 beast is coming. Run. There would be big and small battles happening outside the city every day. There were quite a lot of disciples from all of the big parties. Seeing the sky demon snake approaching them aggressively, everyone was shocked. It was impossible for them not to know how horrifying a rank 7 beast was. In fact, even an astral-reaching realm warrior would not be able to compete with a rank 7 beast at the same level. Plus, this rank 7 beast seemed to be even more horrifying than the rumors. It was covered in black flames, looking like a demon that had just crawled out of hell. I was planning to spend more time with you, but since it is like this, then I will have to kill you now. Yi Chun looked cold. It was not that he could not beat the sky demon snake. Even without his green lotus Jin Yuan, the sky demon snake would still not be able to compete with him. At most, it would be a bit more troublesome. But before this, he had planned to use the sky demon snake as a long-term training target. Once he reached the astral-reaching realm, he would be able to take it out easily. However, the sky demon snake's brutality and cunningness were still out of his expectation. It knew how to kill humans to force him to submit. Looking at the countless human warriors outside the city, the sky demon snake's pupils turned red. It had been a long time since it had seen blood. As a sky demon snake, killing was its instinct. Especially after reaching rank 7, its killing instinct had become harder and harder to control. It had been hiding in the silent hills, hoping that one day it could grow up in blood. Boom! The ground had been shattered. The sky demon snake moved over quickly as it opened its mouth and shot out a beam of dark light. Blood explosion spell. Cut. Performing the ace movement of a minor blood demon body separating great art. Yi Chun's speed had been pushed to its limit. He appeared in front of the dark light and shattered it with one sword attack. The sky demon snake stared at Yi Chun brutally. As a beast, it had made up its mind to take back the sky demon flower. Even if it did not care about the fact that eating the sky demon flower would bring a huge backlash to its body, it still wanted to kill Yi Chun and his martial school. This was the consequence of pissing it off. Huh, you are looking for death. Yi Chun floated in the air as his 80% sword intent spread out. Combined with the half-step Jin Yuan that had been activated by the blood explosion spell, his aura had been pushed to its limit. It was as if his whole body had turned into a blood sword, and the surrounding air had also turned into a blood sword, locking onto the sky demon snake's every move. It is him. Outside of the city, there were 5 people who had noticed Yi Chun. These 5 people were none other than the 5 disciples from the Golden Light Martial School that Yi Chun had met when he first entered the Silent Hills as an outer disciple. The leading 2 people were Lu Tao and Wang Haichuan, followed by the girl in red, Yao Qing, and the twin brothers, Yang Wen and Yang Wu. Right now, Lu Tao and Wang Haichuan were both core disciples of the Golden Light Martial School, and they were both at the peak of the mid-condensing reality realm. The girl in red, Yao Qing, and the twins were all inner disciples at the peak of the early condensing reality realm. In the Golden Light Martial School, they had made quite good progress. Unfortunately, in the Sky Cloud Martial School, they would only be above average. They were not geniuses at all. This was the difference between a ranked martial school and a non-ranked martial school. Plus, the Sky Cloud Martial School was not something a rank 9 martial school could compare with anymore. It had the potential to become a rank 7 martial school. Lu Tao was shocked. Back then, his cultivation was not even as high as mine, but now he could already fight against rank 7 beasts. Could it be that he is the legendary genius in the Windy Nation? There were a lot of people with the same name in the Windy Nation, but none of them had ever associated Yi Chun with a legendary genius. Plus, after such a long time, they had almost forgotten about what had happened in the Silent Hills. They would never think that Yi Chun was the most talented genius in the Windy Nation or even the South River region. It has only been 4 years, and the gap has become so huge. Compared to before, the impulsive Wang Haichuan was much calmer now. His face was full of determination, and his battling power had surpassed Lu Tao. He was the backbone of the 5. Taking a deep breath, he calmed himself down first. Yao Qing made a face. It has been 4 years, and he has not even come to us once. What a heartless man. The twin brother Yang Wu forced a smile. If he had nothing to do, he would not have made it this far. Xiao Wu is right. The power of a genius comes with a price. We are not geniuses, but we are not as hardworking as him. The twin brother Yang Wen nodded. Yao Qing said, "Do you think he would just ignore us if we go to him?" Hearing her, the 4 of them forced a smile. They had only met Yi Chun by chance, and it was their honor to have fought alongside him. So, they would not dare to disturb him. Green Lotus Mountain. The blood explosion spell had increased Yi Chun's battling power by more than 80%. With one sword attack, he had wounded the sky demon snake. That blood-red sword Qi left a horrifying sword mark on its body. Roar! The sky demon snake hid in the black flame and threw out a tail attack. Shadow explosion. Human shadows flashed as Yi Chun's real body appeared above the sky demon snake within a second. The ace movement of his green lotus sword art was thrown down. Crack! A bloody hole appeared on the sky demon snake's forehead, and blood kept pouring out. Piss off! His body flashed again, and Yi Chun appeared right in front of the sky demon snake's chin. He threw out a sword attack, and that blood-red, fire-like sword light appeared. It had blown the sky demon snake hundreds of meters away, creating a huge pit on the ground. It was dozens of meters deep and dozens of meters wide. He is completely dominating a rank 7 beast. So powerful. Of course, Yi Chun is the great master of our Sky Cloud Martial School. Hearing him, all the disciples of the Sky Cloud Martial School looked proud. They felt lucky to be a disciple of the Sky Cloud Martial School. Right now, in the Windy Nation, which young generation did not want to join the Sky Cloud Martial School? The black flame inside the sky demon snake's body was not endless. Without the sky demon flower, it would be extremely hard for it to gather the black flame again. After all, it had just reached the level not long ago and did not know much about the power of a rank 7 beast yet. There was just too little information about the black flame. Without the black flame, the sky demon snake had completely become a powerful rank 7 beast. Its defense was only equivalent to a rank 7 tyrant beast, and its overall power had dropped by 1 level. It tried to run away, but was stabbed into the ground by Yi Chun's sword attack. As it lost more and more blood, its physical strength started to run out. Eventually, It roared into the sky and exploded. Rumble. That horrifying chi wave blew away Yichun, who had backed out far away. After backing out not far away from the city wall, Yichun forced a smile. A rank 7 tyrant beast was only equivalent to a powerful mid-astral reaching realm warrior, but it had not reached the peak level yet. On the other hand, without the black flame, the Sky Demon Snake's overall power was actually not as powerful as a rank 7 tyrant beast. However, Yichun still could not kill it within a short period of time. It was not hard to tell how powerful the Sky Demon Snake was. Once it grew up, it would definitely become a tyrant among the rank 7 tyrant beasts. It would be powerful enough to fight against a peak-level, mid-astral reaching realm warrior, and even a late astral reaching realm warrior would not be able to kill it easily. Yichun. Right then, a clear voice was heard from afar. Yichun turned his head to look, and a smile appeared on his face. "It's you guys. Long time no see." Yao Qing was surprised. "You still remember us?" "Of course." Chapter 312. After releasing the blood explosion spell, Yichun felt that the blood sunflower's medicinal power that was hidden in the deepest part of his body had completely disappeared. He felt a bit uncomfortable, so he shook his head and laughed. "It's been more than 4 years, and the 5 of you are still together." Lu Tao was obviously happy that Yichun did not ignore them. "If we are together, we will always be together, unless something unexpected happens." Luckily, other than some small conflicts, there were no accidents. Yao Qing was more beautiful than 4 years ago, although she was not as pretty as the girls that Yichun had met before, such as Murong Qingsheng, Su Jing, Ji Shuyan, Zhu Mei, and Yuan Xiumei. She was still a beauty. She was still wearing a red dress, and under the dress, her curvaceous body was filled with the vitality of a girl next door. She looked at Yichun curiously. "Strange, you don't even have 3 heads and 6 arms. Why is there such a big gap between us? But the trick of the sword art that you taught me was really good. I am much better than others with the same sword art." Yichun smiled. At that time, he was a bit perfunctory. Of course, the method was right, but it was a bit stupid. "Greetings, Great Master." "Great Master, my name is Song Hai." "Great Master, what can I do for you?" While the 6 of them were talking, the disciples of the Sky Cloud Martial School all ran over to greet them, causing Lu Tao and the other 4 to be dumbfounded. They were all the same age, but they were already great elders, and their status was even higher than the patriarch. "It is fate that brought us together. I don't have anything good to give you, but here are 5 bottles of pellets that are useful for training, which will help you break through." He was the great master of the Sky Cloud Martial School, and the leader of the Golden Light Martial School used to be a disciple of the Sky Cloud Martial School. Therefore, the 5 of them were technically his juniors, so it was not good to meet them empty-handed. Luckily, when Yichun was training outside, he had bought a lot of pellets. These 5 bottles of pellets were not that expensive for him, but they still cost 1,000 low-rank soul stones, which most of the outer masters could not afford. The 5 of them declined and accepted it. Anything that could make Yichun give it to them couldn't be bad. They had no reason to refuse. After bidding farewell to the 5, Yichun flew towards the Sky Cloud Martial School. Idle Cloud Peak. Cloud Dreamer looked at the black flower that Yichun took out and shook his head, indicating that he did not know the name of the flower. Thunder Freer looked confused and said slowly, "Is this the Sky Demon Flower?" "Sky Demon Flower?" Yichun and Cloud Dreamer looked at Thunder Freer. Thunder Freer said, "I have heard people describe the Sky Demon Flower before, but I am not sure if it is. But if it is, then it would be shocking. The Sky Demon Flower is a supreme spirit medicine that is extremely rare in the world. According to the legends, it was made from the blood of the ancient Demon King, who was way more powerful than the current life and death realm warriors. He was not weaker than Su King, and his spirit blood was way more powerful than Su King's. His spirit blood had the horrifying effect of reviving people from the dead. As long as there was one breath left in the body, it would be able to heal completely. It was way more powerful than the so-called great healing medicine. I think the Sky Demon Snake and the Sky Demon Flower are only one word apart, but they are more or less related. Not many people knew about the Sky Demon Snake guarding the Sky Demon Flower. Sometimes the sky demon snake might not even show up with the sky demon flower. Therefore, Cloud Dreamer and Thunder Freer were obviously not as knowledgeable as the people from the supermartial institutions. It was normal for them to not know about it. Can broken bones be healed? Yichin asked. Thunder Freer laughed. Of course, as long as there was one breath left in the body, it would be healed completely. Plus, it would make the body even more powerful. But do not swallow it directly. The medicinal power of the sky demon flower is very aggressive, and the backfire is even more horrifying. Only those who have trained the ancient Demon King's martial arts will be able to swallow it directly. Other people or demonic beasts could die from the backfire. I think this is also the reason why the sky demon snake did not dare to swallow it. Otherwise, it would have swallowed it directly. Yicha nodded. Indeed, he had been wondering why the sky demon snake did not swallow the sky demon flower. Normally, once the spirit medicine that the demonic beasts were guarding matured, they would swallow it immediately in case something bad happened. However, the sky demon snake did not do that. As for that ghost-faced demonic cow, it should have been attracted by the sky demon flower. Unfortunately, it did not enjoy the effects of the flower and died in Yichin's hands. If we do not swallow it, then how are we going to use the sky demon flower? Absorbing its medicinal power from the outside should not be a problem. But it is still a bit of a waste for the sky demon flower to fall into our hands. Its true value is not only the medicinal power, but also the mystery it contains. After reaching the life and death realm, the Zhen Yuan would have already merged with the flesh and blood. Every single drop of essence blood would have the trace of the ancient Demon King. For some of the powerful demonic warriors, a sky demon flower could save them a lot of trouble, which is something that the medicinal power alone could not compare with. What a pity, what a pity. Thunder Freer shook his head. Yichin still did not know why the essence blood of the ancient Demon King would turn into the sky demon flower, and how it had been passed down until now. But he did not care about these things. No matter how mysterious the sky demon flower was, it did not matter to him at all. All he needed was its medicinal power. Senior Cloud Dreamer, Senior Thunder Freer, you can each take a petal of the sky demon flower. The sky demon flower was extremely heavy. Yichin used his half-step Jinyuan to cut off 2 petals with all his might, handing them to Cloud Dreamer and Thunder Freer respectively. Cloud Dreamer was shocked. You want to get it to us? This thing can only be found by luck. There are only 10 petals on one plant. Yichan said, since the sky demon flower can heal the dead, it will definitely be useful in the future. The Sky Cloud Martial School still needs you two to control the situation. Yichan was telling the truth. In the future, when he was not in the Sky Cloud Martial School, the school would have to rely on the 2 of them. Without some life-saving means, he would not be able to rest assured. All right then, I will keep it for you for now. Cloud Dreamer knew Yichin's temperament very well. There was no way he would take back something he had already given out. If he continued to decline, it would seem like he was treating him like an outsider. Leaving the Cloud Dreamer Mountain, Yichin arrived at Su Jing's mountain. Core Master Palace. Su Jing frowned. This thing can cure my arms? It should be right. You try it first. Yichin took out 3 petals and handed them to Su Jing, keeping 5 for emergencies. All right. Su Jing held one of the petals in her hand. Her Zhen Qi poured out through her meridians, sweeping towards the black Qi coming out from the petals. Crack! Vaguely, Yichin heard the sound of bones rubbing against each other in Su Jing's right arm. He scanned with his soul power and immediately found out that Su Jing's shattered bones were getting back together. At the edge of the bones, the black Qi was like a magnet, attracting other bones towards it. It is indeed the sky demon flower. Its effect is so powerful. Yichin finally confirmed the name of the black flower. It was undoubtedly the sky demon flower that Thunder Freer had mentioned. Even if it was not, it could at least prove that it could cure broken bones. Su Jing seemed to be very surprised. Only the black Qi from one petal had increased the recovery speed of her broken bones by dozens of times. Moreover, the broken bones and the flesh of her arm seemed to be even stronger and stronger after being infected by that Qi. You take your time to recover. If it is not enough, I still have more. Yi Chun saw that the sky demon flower petal was effective, so he did not keep it anymore. Su Jing nodded and put away the other 2 heavenly demon flower petals. Walking out of the core master palace, Yi Chun let out a breath. Su Jing's problem had been solved. Next, he could let go of everything and try to reach the 13th realm of his green lotus sword spell and the astral reaching realm. Once he had achieved both of his goals, he was ready to go to the natural moat gorge and see if he could learn something from the Battle King's sword intent. He wanted to try to reach 90% of his sword intent, or even complete it. With the completion of his sword intent, he should be able to fight against Jin Huang and would no longer be afraid of him. Once he made more progress, it would be the day that Jin Huang died. Inside the training room on the shocking cloud mountain, Yi Chun took out a sky demon flower petal and placed it on his palm. He pushed his half-step Jin Yuan, absorbing the medicine inside. Crack! Yi Chun could clearly feel that his body was getting tougher and tougher, and his bones were getting denser and denser. At the same time, the side effects of performing the blood explosion spell had disappeared as well. The effect was even more powerful than the 3,000 years old blood sunflower. However, the blood sunflower focused on the chi and blood, while the sky demon flower focused on the whole body. The two focused on different things. So, the blood sunflower was still not comparable to the sky demon flower in terms of replenishing the chi and blood. After a while, Yi Chun could no longer handle any more of the sky demon flower's medicine. His body had reached a limit. If he wanted to break through this limit, he would have to change his body training art or reach the astral reaching realm, which would increase his body quality drastically. However, his current body quality did not seem to be weaker than astral reaching realm warriors. Su Jing's body quality was basically a couple of times more powerful than normal astral reaching realm warriors. Putting away the sky demon flower petal, Yi Chun closed his eyes and focused on training the green lotus sword spell. The green lotus sword spell was a top-rank earth realm martial art. After reaching the 10th realm, the battling power would increase drastically with each realm. The difference between the 12th realm and the 13th realm was especially obvious. As for the 14th realm, Yi Chun did not dare to think about it right now, since the 14th realm would be a transformation. It would be able to combine the 9 green lotus sword chi into one even more horrifying lotus heart sword chi, which would definitely be more powerful than any of Yi Chun's sword attacks. Correspondingly, it would be even harder to break through to the 14th realm. The 13th realm of a top-rank earth realm martial art would be the limit. The 14th realm would be beyond this limit. The 15th realm would be the highest realm. Even Sea of Souls realm warriors might not be able to reach it. Once they reach this realm, battling beyond their realms would be no different than eating and drinking. Eating the rice bit by bit, Yi Chun cleared away all the distracting thoughts, preparing himself for the 13th realm. Time flowed like water, and there was no turning back. Ever since the sky demon snake and the sky demon flower disappeared, the beast wave that had been plaguing the sky cloud martial school for thousands of miles had suddenly stopped. Only a few beasts were still active in the human area. Half a year later, the shocking cloud mountain where Yi Chun was released a wave of intense sharp chi, which pierced through the clouds and attracted the attention of the whole sky cloud martial school. Chapter 3:13. Is this the sign of a huge improvement in martial arts? Thunderfreer had heard about top-rank Earth Realm martial arts. After reaching the first or second level, every level up would bring about a horrifying phenomenon. Yi Chun trained the Green Lotus Sword spell, so it was natural that there would be some kind of sharp chi in the phenomenon. Cloud Dreamer shook his head. Not only has his martial arts improved, he is only one step away from the astral reaching realm. The second Jin Yuan refinement is about to end? Hearing him, Thunderfreer was shocked. Normal people who train top-rank Earth Realm martial arts would need at least 3 to 5 years to refine all of their Jun Qi into Jin Yuan. But Yi Chun had only spent less than a year to refine all of his Jun Qi into Jin Yuan. This speed was way too horrifying. Cloud Dreamer said, "Martial geniuses are always the existence that breaks the rules." 5 months ago, Sikong Sheng had already reached the astral reaching realm, becoming the youngest astral-reaching realm warrior in the South River region in hundreds of years. Right now, it seems like this record is going to be broken by Yichun. Thunder Freer nodded. Sikong Sheng was a 22-year-old astral-reaching realm warrior. If Yichun could reach the astral-reaching realm in 3 months, then he would be a 19-year-old astral-reaching realm warrior, which would only be 1 year later than the number 1 martial genius of the whole True Spirit continent, Xianhou. Even in the whole True Spirit continent, he would be a famous warrior. His name would definitely be on the martial genius ranking. Yeah, there is no doubt about that. However, martial geniuses do not only have a fast cultivation speed. There are other reasons as well, such as the most important battling power and comprehensive ability. Of course, no matter how you look at it, Yichun is the top martial genius. Sooner or later, his name will shake the whole continent. Plus, right now, the more powerful he is, the safer he will be. If he does not have enough stamina, then it would be dangerous. While the two were talking inside the training room of the shocking Cloud Mountain, Yichun slowly opened his eyes. The 13th level of the Green Lotus Sword spell, the second Jin Yuan refinement, is about to come to an end. Such a powerful feeling. It had been 2 years since the end of the Hidden Dragon rank competition. Yichun had been improving all the time. Every time he improved, it was a huge leap. However, none of them were as good as this time. Not only had he reached the first limit of the Green Lotus Sword spell, but he was also close to completing the second Jin Yuan refinement. With the combination of the two, his power had definitely increased tremendously. Unfortunately, he did not have a suitable training partner. Otherwise, he would know exactly how much his power had increased. Chi! The fist that contained half-step Jin Yuan shot out, tearing a crack in the air. It was as fast as lightning and as heavy as a mountain. Half-step Jin Yuan. No, it should be fake Jin Yuan. Its destructive power is not to be underestimated. That punch just now had not contained any sort of martial skill. Just by relying on fake true essence, it had been able to tear open a vacuum crack in the air. This was already infinitely close to the destructive power of true essence. With a wave of his hand, the door of the secret room opened wide. Yichun stood up and flew out through the passage. Idle Cloud Peak, Cloud Dreamer, and Thunder Freer were both there. "Brother Yi, what's the progress this time?" Thunder Freer laughed and said. The clouds moved away automatically, and Yichun landed on the peak. The two seniors should have already guessed it. Haha, your cultivation speed really makes me blush with shame, ashamed of my inferiority. Although Yichun called them seniors, they did not dare to treat him as a junior. They treated him as an equal. Cloud Dreamer waved his hand, and a nearby stone chair moved over. Then, he poured Yichun another cup of wine. Yichun sat on the stone chair and asked, "Has anything happened in the past half a year?" Cloud Dreamer said, "According to our people, Sikong Sheng had reached the astral-reaching realm 5 months ago and became an inner master of the floating mountain martial school. This had a huge impact. A lot of famous astral-reaching realm warriors had gone to congratulate him, including the great master of the Purple Sun Martial School, the Fireman, and a great master of the Emerald Martial School. As for Sikong Sheng reaching the astral-reaching realm, Yichun was not too surprised. He had already reached half-step Jin Yuan during the Hidden Dragon rank competition. After 2 years, he should be an astral-reaching realm warrior. As for the great master of the Purple Sun Martial School, Yichun had some doubts. Doesn't he need to stay in the Purple Sun Martial School? Thunder Freer forced a laugh. That old bastard fireman had also traveled in the South River region before. He had met 4 powerful warriors. They were the Gold Spear Man, the Wood Man, the Lake Man, and the Mountain Man. The 5 of them had titles that contained the elements of metal, wood, water, fire, and earth. They were called the 5 Nature Men. Not long after Sikong Sheng reached the astral-reaching realm, the Gold Spear Man and the Lake Man came to the Purple Sun Martial School as guests and helped him stay there. 5 Nature Men. Yichun mumbled. Soon, our Sky Cloud Martial School will have 3 astral-reaching realm warriors. Come, let's drink. Cloud Dreamer was not too worried about the power of the Purple Sun Martial School. one Yi-chun could fight against 2 or 3 astral-reaching realm warriors. Plus, Yi-chun's potential was still far from exploding. No one knew how far he could go in the future. In the following days, nothing happened. Yi-chun had reached the 13th level of the Green Lotus Sword spell, and the second Jin Yuan refinement was about to end. Yi-chun did not need to go into closed-door training. Jin Yuan refinement was something that would happen naturally and had nothing to do with comprehension ability. When the time came, he would naturally become an astral-reaching realm warrior. After all, his foundation was there, so he would not be too slow. On this day, Yi-chun was comprehending the poetic perspective of clouds. After integrating the 6th movement of the sky-shattering clouds, Yi-chun felt a huge obstruction, as if there was an invisible barrier in front of him. The shocking cloud sword art has a total of 9 movements. After integrating the 6th movement, it would be equivalent to a top-rank Earth Realm sword movement. The 7th movement should be similar to the 2nd movement of the Green Lotus sword art. The 8th movement would almost touch the edge of a Heaven Realm sword movement. It would be the limit of the poetic perspective, the limit of the moves. I wonder how I can make it through. By now, Yi-chun had already understood that Heaven Realm martial arts were not something that could be learned with high comprehension ability. Without reaching that level, there would not be a point of convergence. Taking a deep breath, Yi-chun waved his sword and slashed out a sword path in the sea of clouds. The sword path was more than 1,000 meters long, which split open a short mountain in front of him. Thunder exploded and clouds surged. My mastery of the poetic perspective is already not weaker than most of the astral-reaching realm warriors. What I lack is accumulation. With enough accumulation, it would be a lot easier to comprehend. It seems like only by going out to train would one be able to grow faster. Staying in one place would have some limitations after all. Everything needed a process of accumulation. Even a top martial genius would not be able to truly grow without enough accumulation. It was like an extremely smart person. If he or she had not studied for a few years and experienced a lot of things, then he or she would not be able to fully utilize his or her intelligence. He or she would have to rely on his or her brain to do some smart things. No need to rush. My martial arts are still above my cultivation. There's no need to rush. Putting his star-scar sword back into its scabbard, Yi-chun's mood was as calm as still water. I, the fireman, have arrived. Why is no one coming out to greet me? Are all the people from the Sky Cloud Martial School dead? In front of the Sky Cloud Martial School, dozens of human shadows flew over. The 2 leading people had a very powerful aura. The one on the right had an unbreakable aura, while the one on the left had a very aggressive aura. It was indeed the great master of the Purple Sun Martial School, the fireman. In the main mountain palace, Luo Xinglia's expression changed. He said to the headmaster, "Gather all the masters here." The Sky Cloud Martial School and the Purple Sun Martial School were enemies. However, since the great master of the Purple Sun Martial School had come in person, it was reasonable for them to treat him with respect. This was the rule between the martial schools, and the Sky Cloud Martial School could not break it. Yes, the headmaster looked serious. Soon, all the masters had gathered in the plaza in front of the palace, including the 6 core masters, including Su Jing. In front of the plaza, dozens of human shadows landed. The leading fireman looked to be in his 60s. His face was red and healthy. He looked around and smiled. "Not bad. At least you are polite." The group of masters made a path, and Luo Xinglia walked out. He held his fists together and said, "I did not know that the fireman was coming. Sorry for not coming out to meet you. Where is that old bastard Cloud Dreamer? Tell him to come out and see me. You do not have the right to talk to me." The fireman glanced at Luo Xinglia and said lightly. Hearing him, all the masters from the Sky Cloud Martial School stared at him with anger. Luo Xinglia was the leader of the Sky Cloud Martial School. He was the face of the Sky Cloud Martial School. "What? Do you think you can look down on me just because you have a big backer? I don't know what that master is thinking. But believe it or not, even if I destroy the Sky Cloud Martial School, he will not show up." The fireman saw it more clearly than anyone else. Although Jin Huang was scared away last time, he was not from the Windy Nation after all. He represented a super martial school, like the floating mountain martial school. He was clearly bullying the weak. The Purple Sun Martial School and the Sky Cloud Martial School were both top 5 martial schools in the Windy Nation. There was no such thing as bullying the weak. The fireman did not believe that the powerful master would help the Sky Cloud Martial School. Fireman, you're showing off in the wrong place. The Sky Cloud Martial School is not a place where you can do whatever you want. The Cloud Dreamer flashed his body and appeared in the plaza. The fireman glanced at the Cloud Dreamer. If I want to show off, do you think the people from the Sky Cloud Martial School would be able to stand still like this? The Cloud Dreamer sneered. If the Sky Cloud Martial School is not doing well, then the Purple Sun Martial School will be done for. You are so full of yourself. The middle-aged man in gold sneered. I wonder who this is? The fireman said proudly. This is the Gold Spearman, the VIP of the Purple Sun Martial School. The Gold Spearman was in his 50s. His face was light gold, and his body was huge. He made a face. I thought the Sky Cloud Martial School would have some powerful warriors, but it is only a peak-level early astral reaching realm warrior. Fireman, you have not destroyed the Sky Cloud Martial School after all these years. You are too kind. Huh. If it were not for the others, how could the Sky Cloud Martial School be so arrogant? Now, there is no one in the Purple Sun Martial School. A killing intent flashed through the fireman's eyes. The Gold Spearman chuckled. He glanced at the masters of the Sky Cloud Martial School, casually. Suddenly, his eyes brightened, landing on the Inner Master Zhu Mei and the Core Master Su Jing. Fireman, you did not say that the Sky Cloud Martial School had people like this, especially that woman in white. She is rare, even in the South Ritter region. The Gold Spearman licked his lips. The Cloud Dreamer saw that these two people were acting like they were his own family and did not care about them at all. He looked a bit gloomy. However, thinking that they would not come here for no reason, he suppressed his unhappiness and asked, I wonder why you two are here. If there is nothing, please leave. The fireman said, Of course I am here for something. But, is this how you treat your guests? You want us to talk in the square? This way, please. Luo Xinglia lifted the corner of his mouth. Huh. The fireman waved his sleeves and walked in the front. The Gold Spearman walked side by side with him. When they passed by the crowd, he glanced at Su Jing on purpose. There was an evil light shining in his eyes. Chapter 314. In the main mountain hall, the main seat was empty. The left side of the hall was occupied by Cloud Dreamer and Luo Xinglia, while the right side was occupied by the fireman and the Gold Spearman. The rest of the people were outside. The fireman took a sip of the tea slowly and exchanged a look with the Gold Spearman. He said slowly, Don't say that I did not take care of your Sky Cloud Martial School. This time, I came all the way here to show you enough respect. Unfortunately, some people do not know what is good for them. Cloud Dreamer frowned, waiting for the fireman to continue. Putting down the teacup, the fireman said, Our intelligence team from the Purple Sun Martial School has found the nest of the corpse man. What? The nest of the corpse man? Cloud Dreamer's expression changed. The corpse man was one of the 108 ghost warriors from the Nine Ghost cult. He was very famous for killing people. It would not be wrong to call him the Old Monster. Countless powerful warriors from the top 5 martial institutions of the Windy Nation had died in his hands, including a couple of astral reaching realm warriors. So what? After all these years, the corpse man's power should have recovered to its peak. Plus, with his special power, even all of the astral reaching realm warriors in the Windy Nation combined would not be his opponent. Although the corpse man's battling power was the lowest among the 108 ghost warriors, he had the power to create zombies. With 3 to 4 rank 7 zombies attacking together, even astral reaching realm warriors who were more powerful than him would not be able to handle it and would be killed easily. His name was very famous, and people called him the corpse man. Since I am here, of course, I have the confidence to kill this old monster. The fireman looked like he was going to win as he continued. Back in the days when I was traveling, I met 4 friends who had the same goal. Right now, 2 of them are here. One is the Gold Spearman, and the other is the Mountain Man. Unfortunately, the Lake Man and the Deadwood Man could not come. Otherwise, with them here, Killing the corpse man would be as easy as pie. Cloud Dreamer glanced at the gold spearman. He could naturally tell that the latter was the same as the fireman, also a mid-astral reaching realm warrior. According to the rumors, among the five, the Deadwood Man was the most powerful one, being a late astral reaching realm warrior. He knew an ancient martial art called the Deadwood Palm Spell. Judging purely on battling power, he might not lose to the Ghost Man. Although the Lake Man was not as powerful, he was still a peak-level, mid-astral reaching realm warrior. However, no one would dare to underestimate the Ghost Man's ace attack, the rank 7 zombie warrior. How did you know about the nest of the Corpse Man? Cloud Dreamer stared at the fireman without blinking. It was not that he did not trust him, but it was because the Sky Cloud Martial School had been set up way too badly back then. His brother disciple, Wu Yunzi, had died because of that. He did not have any proof, but he was sure that the Purple Sun Martial School had something to do with it. The fireman sneered, "It is up to you whether you want to believe it or not. If the Nine Evil cult wants to grow stronger again, they will need a lot of resources. The top 5 martial institutions control more than 80% of the resources in the Windy Nation, and there are no other powerful martial institutions around. In their eyes, we are just a piece of meat without any defense." Cloud Dreamer's expression changed a couple of times. The fireman was right. If the Nine Evil cult wanted to make a comeback, they would need a lot of resources. But they were hiding in the dark and could not take all of the resources in public. Once they showed up, they would be attacked by all of the powerful parties in the South River region. Therefore, they could only do it secretly, not daring to show their faces. Although they could get a lot of resources from some lone warriors, those resources would not be enough to support them for a long time. The resources in the Windy Nation seemed to be nothing special, but it was still a nation after all. The resources of a nation would be more than enough to support the development of the Ghost Corpse Mountain. Plus, it would not be that dangerous. He believed that there would also be other small nations with the 9 evil cult's remaining members, so the Windy Nation would not be the only one. If they did not attack first, when the Corpse Man decided to attack, one martial institution would not be able to handle the invasion of the Ghost Corpse Mountain. The problem was that the fireman's words could not be trusted completely. First of all, he was the first one to know about the location of the Corpse Man's nest, which was already suspicious. He was not like his brother disciple Wu Yunzi, who had been able to stay in the Sky Cloud Martial School for so many years and watch the development of the Sky Cloud Martial School. Then how do you think we should deal with it? The Corpse Man is not easy to deal with. Being able to survive that big battle years ago, it is already enough to prove how powerful he is. Cloud Dreamer did not know if he should accept it or not. If he accepted it, he might be ambushed by the fireman. He did not believe that there was nothing wrong with it. If he did not accept it, then the Corpse Man would indeed be a big problem. Who knew when he would decide to attack the Sky Cloud Martial School first? Although the Sky Cloud Martial School had martial geniuses like Yi Chun, who was able to kill the Sky Demon Snake with only half-step Jin Yuan, the Corpse Man was a late astral reaching realm warrior. He was a cunning demon. Added with all the rank 7 martial zombies, his overall power was only above Jin Huang's. No one in the Windy Nation would be able to fight against him. Without a choice, the Cloud Dreamer threw the topic back to the fireman. The fireman nodded, indeed. The Corpse Man is indeed a troublesome existence. Therefore, I had immediately informed all the martial institutions and asked everyone to join forces. We will kill the Ghost Corpse Mountain and the Corpse Man as fast as lightning, so that he would not have the time to react. You mean to combine all the astral reaching realm warriors in the Windy Nation? Cloud Dreamer understood what the fireman was trying to say. Only astral reaching realm warriors would be able to kill them at such a fast speed. Warriors below the astral reaching realm would be slowed down a lot. The fireman stared at the Cloud Dreamer. What do you think? The Cloud Dreamer thought for a while, then said, "How about this? Wait until everyone is here, then we will discuss." "Sure. 3 days later, I will see you on the Green Beauty Mountain. By then, all the astral reaching realm warriors from the top 5 martial institutions will be there." The Cloud Dreamer's answer was within the fireman's expectation. He then said, "This time, all the top 3 astral-reaching realm warriors from the Purple Sun Martial School will be there. You'll not be the only one from the Sky Cloud Martial School, right? Of course not. If it is confirmed, there will be 2 astral-reaching realm warriors from the Sky Cloud Martial School. Oh? Which 2? The fireman squeezed his eyes. Although he did not think that Yi-chan would be able to reach the astral-reaching realm in a short period of time, but it was better to be safe than sorry. If Yi-chan really did reach the astral-reaching realm, then some of the details would have to be changed. He just hoped that things would not be as bad as he thought. Me and the Thunder Freer. The Thunder Freer was not a secret in the Sky Cloud Martial School anymore, so the Cloud Dreamer was not afraid to say it out. I heard that Yi-chun has not reached the astral-reaching realm yet, but he already has the power to fight against astral-reaching realm warriors. Why don't we bring him along as well? This time, killing the corpse man would be a great opportunity. Hearing him, the fireman let out a breath. Judging from his expression, Yi-chun should not have reached the astral-reaching realm yet. A smile appeared on his face as he said. The Cloud Dreamer's face sank. You don't have to worry about that. Huh? He has the power to fight against an astral-reaching realm warrior before reaching the astral-reaching realm? It is most likely just a rumor. The Gold Spear Man, do not believe it. Even if we bring him along, he would only be a burden. The Gold Spear Man said with a disdainful expression. The fireman took a sip of tea casually, seeming to want to hear how the Cloud Dreamer would respond. The Cloud Dreamer did not change his expression and said, "You can try if you have the chance. If you two do not have anything else to say, you can leave now. Since the owner has asked us to leave, then we should not stay. Brother Gold, let's go back first." The fireman did not plan to stay any longer. The Gold Spearman stood up with the fireman. He glanced at Su Jing, who was standing outside the palace. He suddenly opened his mouth and said to the Cloud Dreamer, "I do not have a wife yet. I think that master from your Sky Cloud Martial School is not bad. She's qualified to be my wife. I wonder if I, the Gold Spearman, would have the honor?" Both the Cloud Dreamer and Luo Xinglia did not look good. This Gold Spearman was way too arrogant. He really thought that he was invincible. Plus, Su Jing and Yi-chun had a close relationship. Whoever dared to touch her would probably be killed by Yi-chun. Don't even think about it. The Cloud Dreamer did not look happy at all. The Gold Spearman had a creepy smile on his face. "I suggest you guys think about it. I'm not like the fireman, who is kind." The Cloud Dreamer yelled, "Don't push it too far. The Sky Cloud Martial School is not a place for you to do whatever you want. Brother Gold, the road to happiness is strewn with setbacks. Why do you have to rush it? What is yours will be yours eventually." The fireman did not expect the Gold Spearman to be this eager and say this in front of everyone. He could only try to comfort him, telling him to take it slow. The road to happiness is strewn with setbacks. Not bad. I, the Gold Spearman, am definitely going to have this woman. The Gold Spearman laughed and walked out of the palace with the fireman who allowed you to leave. Right then, the crowd split apart and someone walked over. It was none other than Yi-chun. Yi-chun was wearing a blue robe with a long sword on his waist. He stood 10 steps in front of the two, quietly. His eyes landed on the Gold Spearman and the fireman. The fireman glanced at Yi-chun and noticed that he was still at the Jin Yuan refining stage. A strong killing intent flashed through his mind as he said with a smile on his face, "Not bad. You have already reached the Jin Yuan refining stage at such a young age. You are not that far away from the astral reaching realm. However, you're not that talented. Before martial genius grows up, you should be more patient. Do not ruin your own life. So you're Yi-chun? You are nothing special. What? Do you think you can stop us? I will give you a chance. Slap yourself 4 times. Otherwise, I will teach you a lesson today." The Gold Spearman did not care about Yi-chun at all. If it were not for the fireman warning him to be careful of powerful warriors helping him, he would not have talked much with him. He would have just killed him directly. Things are different now. The Windy Nation is no longer a place where you can call the shots. If you had come here and left just like that, I would have let it go. Unfortunately, you think too highly of yourselves. As long as I, Yi-chun, am here, there is no place for you to mess around. In Yi-chun's plan, the Purple Sun Martial School was the place he had to go. Although the assassination before did not really hurt him, it did not mean that he did not care about it. Seeing the situation, Cloud Dreamer wanted to say something, but he swallowed it back down. He knew Yi Chen's personality very well. Since he had stood out, there was no need for him to go back. Plus, these two were indeed too arrogant. The only thing that worried him was how powerful Yi Chen's battling power was. Two powerful mid-astral reaching realm warriors would not be a joke, especially this gold spear man who had just appeared out of nowhere. He gave Luo Xinglia a look and took a couple steps back. He planned to leave the situation to Yi Chen, and the others should not interfere. Haha, the gold spear man, have been out there for so many years, and this is the first time I've seen a young warrior talk to me like this. Brat, you are the first. The gold spear man laughed out loud. His whole body shone with a golden light, which was extremely pure, carrying an unbreakable aura. Senior Cloud Dreamer, I will kill this guy. There was no emotion on Yi Chen's face. He had already known about what had happened in the palace. If he had guessed it right, there must have been some kind of conspiracy. Facing a conspiracy, his way of doing things was different from normal people, which was to kill as fast as possible. He would kill as many as he could, since he would have to kill those people from the Purple Sun Martial School sooner or later anyway. As for the mission of killing the corpse man, he would not miss out on it. Chapter 315. Yi Chen, you are too arrogant. The fireman's face suddenly darkened. He had come to the Sky Cloud Martial School, obviously not for the sake of the Sky Cloud Martial School. In his eyes, even if Cloud Dreamer knew that there was a conspiracy, he would not be able to refuse this mission. Since he could not refuse, then his plan was already half a success. Therefore, he did not care what Cloud Dreamer was thinking at all. Bringing the Gold Spear Man was just to suppress the Sky Cloud Martial School, to let them know that in terms of top battling power, the Sky Cloud Martial School could not compete with the Purple Sun Martial School. So what if he was arrogant in the other's territory? No one could do anything to him. However, he had never thought that Yi Chen would come out and ask them to stay and even kill the Gold Spear Man. How reckless! Did he think that the powerful master behind him would protect him all the time? Geniuses were geniuses because they could grow in adversity. If the powerful master behind him wanted to train a genius, then he would not protect him all the time. Otherwise, there would be no adversity. He was confident that if he killed Yi Chen now, nothing would happen to him. Lai Hua, there is no need to say so much. Since this brat wants to die, then don't blame me for being merciless. Today, I will kill this brat and take this woman away. Sky Cloud Martial School, who dares to stop me? Who dares to stop me? The Gold Spear Man's killing intent surged. His face was filled with disdain. Everyone from the Sky Cloud Martial School took a deep breath. Looking at the situation, Yi Chen and the Gold Spear Man seemed to be at each other's throats. They hoped that Yi Chen would be able to defeat the Gold Spear Man otherwise. If Yi Chen lost or died, it would be a disaster for the Sky Cloud Martial School. Dying. All of a sudden, a golden spear appeared in his hand. His Zhen Yuan exploded as he thrust the spear towards Yi Chen, who was 10 steps away. The tip of the spear created a thin vacuum crack in the air. I'll take your dog life in 3 moves. Clang! As Yi Chen's voice was heard, the Star Scar sword was taken out of its scabbard and pressed against the tip of the golden spear. Rumble! There seemed to be an earthquake. The entire main hall of the main peak and the entire square shook violently. Terrifying shockwaves erupted and radiated in all directions. Cloud Dreamer stood in front of everyone, trying his best to block the shockwave. Whoosh! After blocking the Gold Spear Man's attack with one sword attack, Yi Chen suddenly jumped up into the sky. The main mountain of the Sky Cloud Martial School could not withstand the attacks from the two of them. It was not an ideal place to fight. Where are you going? Gold Spear Sanran followed closely behind. The golden spear in his hand pierced out at a speed invisible to the naked eye, bursting out hundreds of spear lights. Each spear light was equivalent to an attack of 60% of his strength. Hundreds of spear lights pierced out at the same time. There was no way to escape, no way to retreat. The first move, flying into the sky, Yi Chen stopped his body. 80% of his sword intent had been infused into his Star Scar sword. attacking towards the gold spearman with his sky-shattering clouds. The moment he swung his sword, the wind blew, the clouds churned, and lightning crackled. It split apart the hundreds of spear lights with an unstoppable force, and under the horrified gaze of the golden spear loose man, it ferociously attacked. He actually split apart hundreds of my spear lights. Gold spear practitioner was caught unprepared and quickly raised his spear to block. It was a loud bang. In everyone's sight, the gold spearman had been blown away by Yi Chen's first sword attack, looking extremely embarrassed. Impossible. He has obviously not reached the astral reaching realm yet. How could his battling power be this powerful? The fireman, who was standing on the ground, was shocked. He was very clear about the gold spearman's power, which was definitely not weaker than his. Although he was still in his normal condition without burning his Zhen Yuan, he could still fight against an early astral reaching realm warrior when he was burning his Zhen Yuan, not to mention Yi Chen, who had not even reached the astral reaching realm yet. He had always thought that Yi Chen was just a normal early astral reaching realm warrior. As for Yi Chen killing the sky demon snake half a year ago, it was not that he did not know about it, but there were too few people who knew about it. Most of them thought that the sky demon snake was just a slightly more powerful rank 7 beast, which misled the fireman. In the sky hundreds of meters away, the gold spearman's eyes were red. He was a mid-astral reaching realm warrior, but he had been blown away by Yi Chen, who had not even reached the astral reaching realm yet. It was something that he could not accept. The Zhen Yuan inside his body rubbed against each other, and a golden flame appeared. The gold spearman, who was covered in fire, yelled, "Today, you will die for sure." Gold snake break. As he threw out a spear attack, a golden snake-shaped spear light shot out along the spear body, traveling at an extremely fast speed. The horrifying gold mentality had given the snake-shaped spear light the ability to break through anything. The air had been pierced through, and the space cracks kept appearing, providing the snake-shaped spear light with an environment to increase its speed. Whoosh! A blood-red fake Zhen Yuan exploded from Yi Chen's body. The fake Zhen Yuan was not that much different from the real Zhen Yuan. The only difference was that it could not be burned, which increased his battling power by several folds. However, the minor blood demon body separating great art had also increased Yi Chen's battling power to more than 50%. Combined with his 80% sword intent, he was no weaker than the gold spearman, who was burning his Zhen Yuan. Besides that, he had trained the top-rank Earth realm martial art, Green Lotus Sword spell, and had trained it to the 13th realm, which was something that the gold spearman could not compete with. Green Lotus Sky. Around the Star Scar sword, countless red lotuses formed by sharp chi flow blossomed. The lotuses rose up one after another, following Yi Chen's attack and disappearing into the surreal space. The air had been frozen, and the snake-shaped spear light was getting slower and slower. It was like a poisonous snake going against the current, unable to increase its speed. The gold spearman, who was behind it, was also trapped in this area, looking shocked. Shoo! Shoo! In the air that was as calm as a lake, countless green lotuses turned into sword chi and shot out, landing on the snake-shaped spear light like a storm. Waiting until the spear light was shattered, the rest of the sword chi attacked towards the gold spearman like a swarm of bees. Ding! Dang! Dang! The gold spearman had trained the gold element Zhen Yuan. In terms of pure defense, it was even more powerful than the earth element Zhen Yuan. Although the sword chi was aggressive, it still could not break through his protective Zhen Yuan layer. The third movement die. The Green Lotus Sky was the first ace movement of the Green Lotus Sword art. It could be separated into two movements. One was the Green Lotus Sky, which was mainly used for restraining, and the other was the Green Lotus Accumulation, which was used for killing. The fist-sized Green Lotus shot out, instantly landing on the gold spearman's protective Zhen Yuan layer. Pooh! The protective Zhen Yuan layer was broken open, and the Green Lotus pierced through the gold spearman's chest, bringing out a straight stream of blood that stretched for dozens of meters. This is impossible. There is no way I will die. The gold spearman did not even know what had happened until he died. He did not know why Yi Chen had the power to kill him. and it was even within 3 movements. He had been traveling in the South River region for so many years, but he had never encountered something like this. Otherwise, he would not have underestimated Yi Chun. Putting his star scar sword back into its scabbard, Yi Chun said lightly, "I have said that I will kill you within 3 movements, and I will kill you within 3 movements. No matter how many mid-astral reaching realm warriors there are, it will be the same." He dared to kill the Gold Spearman and ignore the Fireman and the 5 Wanderers. Naturally, he had his own power, and it did not come from his power. His real power had not been revealed yet, and there was no need for him to do so in front of everyone. The people on the ground were all shocked. Chapter 316. Yi Chen's power in the Sky Cloud Martial School was known to be extremely powerful, even more powerful than Cloud Dreamer and Thunder Freer. However, they had never seen Yi Chen kill any mid-astral reaching realm warriors. They did not know how powerful a mid-astral reaching realm warrior could be. Judging from the power that the Gold Spearman had released, he was definitely a mid-astral reaching realm warrior, which was way beyond what an early astral reaching realm warrior could compete with. However, he still could not last 3 attacks from Yi Chun, and was killed within 3 attacks, killing an enemy that was 2 realms higher than him. Yi Chun is getting more and more horrifying. Lu Hanshan and Zhu Mei took a deep breath as they looked at each other. Su Jing's tightened body finally relaxed. She was planning to join hands with Yi Chun to fight against the Gold Spearman when he could not handle it anymore. However, it seemed like it would not be necessary anymore. Plus, even if she went up, it would not make any difference. Although the Sky Demon Flower had healed her completely and improved her body, the opponent was a mid-astral reaching realm warrior who could wound her badly with a flick of his finger. A smile appeared on Cloud Dreamer's face. Then he forced a laugh and turned his head to look at the Fireman. The Fireman's face was almost twisted as he yelled, "Yi Chun, how dare you kill the Gold Spearman? How dare you?" Flashing his body, Yi Chun landed on the main plaza. "Right now, piss off. Otherwise, I will kill you as well." Only the Fireman knew where the Corpseman's base was. Yi Chun knew that he was up to no good, but he could not kill him right away. He planned to play along and see what kind of tricks he had up his sleeves. Before this trick was exposed, killing the Fireman would only make things more complicated. If the Fireman's anger was stuck in his chest, and he could not let it out, his face turned red. Cloud Dreamer was afraid that Yi Chun would really kill the Fireman. Although he wanted to kill him as well, before the Corpseman was taken care of, it would not be appropriate to kill the Fireman. Right then, he did not know what he was feeling, so he tried to persuade him. "Fire, a wise man knows his limits. You cannot win against Yi Chun. If you stay, you will only get yourself killed. Right now, the Corpseman is the most important thing. I will see you on the Blue Mountain in 3 days." Who? After taking a couple of deep breaths, the Fireman tried his best to suppress his anger as he said coldly, "Good, very good. Yi Chun, I will remember you." Yi Chun looked at the Fireman coldly. When his eyes opened and closed, the sharp light was like a sword. Together with his emotionless face, it gave the Fireman a terrifying pressure. He was sure that if he kept talking, Yi Chun would kill him immediately without giving him any chance. "Let's go." Waving his hand, the Fireman brought the dozens of people from the Purple Sun Martial School and flew out of the main mountain of the Sky Cloud Martial School like dogs that had lost their homes. "Yi Chun, isn't this a bit too cruel?" Cloud Dreamer wasn't criticizing Yi Chun for killing indiscriminately. He just felt like the timing was not good. Hiding the sharp light in his eyes, Yi Chun said calmly, "If we have to kill, then we should kill. At least one enemy has been removed, which would reduce the threat. Staying here would only bring harm to our Sky Cloud Martial School." Yi Chun's words were not unreasonable. Cloud Dreamer did not want to talk about this anymore. "Yi Chun, let's go to my Cloud Dreamer Mountain. We will discuss the plan." All right. The two of them arrived at the Cloud Dreamer Mountain one after another. Thunder Freer walked up to them. "Good job. Let them down a bit. Otherwise, they would think that everything is under their control." Thunder Freer had seen everything that had happened on the main mountain clearly. He was also a person who would kill if he had to, so he thought that Yi Chun was right for him. Cloud Dreamer smiled and told Thunder Freer what had happened. He then said, "The Corpse Man's base is in the Windy Nation. Whether it is true or not, we cannot ignore it. How do you think we should deal with it?" "I think we should send a few people there." Yi Chun said, "The Sky Cloud Martial School has to have someone guarding it. That is a must. But who will be guarding it?" Thunder Freer thought for a while. "How about we let Yi Chun guard it? He is more powerful than us, so he would be able to take care of it. If even he cannot take care of it, then we would not be able to take care of it either. Let's take a step back and say that if things get really bad, it should not be a problem for us to escape. Of course, this is the worst-case scenario, and the possibility is very low. Meanwhile, Cloud Dreamer and I will join the fight against the Corpse Man and face the Fireman's evil plan. I would like to see what kind of tricks he has up his sleeves." Hearing him, Cloud Dreamer was a bit moved. He had thought the same before. Yi Chun shook his head. "Two seniors, you will guard the Sky Cloud Martial School. I will join the fight against the Corpse Man." Yi Chun, Cloud Dreamer, and Thunder Freer both looked at him. Yi Chun explained, "We have to be careful of the Fireman, but I think his main target is not the Sky Cloud Martial School, but the astral-reaching realm warriors of the Sky Cloud Martial School. Two seniors going would be perfect for him, although I cannot guarantee that I will be able to shatter their evil plan. But in a dangerous situation, escaping would not be a problem. But you have not reached the astral-reaching realm after all. Wouldn't it be a bit inappropriate?" Cloud Dreamer was a bit hesitant. He obviously knew about Yi Chun's power, but the Fireman's evil plan would not be that simple. He would not feel comfortable letting Yi Chun take the risk. Thunder Freer nodded. Yi Chun laughed. "Actually, I can reach the astral-reaching realm anytime I want." "What?" The two did not quite understand what Yi Chun meant. With a thought, a crystal-clear and condensed pseudo-Zhenyuan appeared outside of Yi Chun's body. If observed carefully, one could see that more than 99% of the pseudo-Zhenyuan had been covered by the broken light. Only a small part of it had not been refined yet. It was a sign that he was about to reach the astral-reaching realm. "I only need one more vibration, and I will reach the astral-reaching realm." Refining Zhenyuan was not a natural process. Instead, it required the warrior to vibrate his half-step Zhenyuan to extract the essence and remove the impurities. If the warrior did not do it on his own, then he would be stuck at this stage for a long time. "One more vibration, and I will be able to extract the Zhenyuan and reach the astral-reaching realm." Thunder Freer gasped. To be honest, he had never heard of a martial genius like Yi Chun before. Not only would he be able to reach the astral-reaching realm within a year, the most important thing was that he was able to control the timing of the breakthrough. The others would have to work so hard to reach the astral-reaching realm, afraid that they would be too late. Yi Chun, on the other hand, did not reach the astral-reaching realm first, but waited for the critical moment to reach the astral-reaching realm. No matter how you looked at it, he was a complete monster, a monster that could scare people. Thunder Freer would not believe that this guy did not make it big. Thunder Freer was shocked and excited at the same time. His blood was boiling. Cloud Dreamer frowned and said, "Yi Chun, it is not that I am doubting your control, but you know this is not something you can be careless about. If you make a mistake, then your life will be in danger." Putting away his fake Zhenyuan, Yi Chun said confidently, "Senior, don't worry. I could have reached the astral-reaching realm a week ago, but after thinking about it, I have decided to stay at this stage for now." After he had finished his closed-door training, he had heard about the Fireman and the 5 Wanderers from the Purple Sun Martial School, which had alerted him. Therefore, in the next half a month, he could have reached the astral-reaching realm, but he had chosen to give it up. Seeing how serious Yi Chun was, Cloud Dreamer had to believe him. He thought about the ancestors of the Sky Cloud Martial School and wondered what had happened to the Sky Cloud Martial School to have such a genius like Yi Chun. Someday, when he becomes the dominator of the true spirit continent, you will all be able to smile in the afterlife. I, Thunder Freer, have to admit that in terms of training speed, you would be able to beat me in the South River region. Thunder Freer finally knew what a top martial genius was, and Yi Chun was one of them. Sikong Sheng, Yin Shihua, They were only top martial geniuses. Senior, you are flattering me. The reason why Yi Chun was able to reach the astral reaching realm so fast was not only because of the influence of the Dragon Fountain Chi, but also because of the Green Lotus Sword spell. After reaching the 10th realm, each realm would be more powerful than the previous one. Reaching the 13th realm would already be an extreme limit for one's training speed. In fact, even Yi Chun himself could not imagine the power of the 13th realm. It was two different levels compared to the 12th realm. Not only had his battling power increased drastically, he had beaten the Gold Spearman in 3 attacks, and his training speed had also reached an unimaginable speed. In fact, in the South River region, being able to train a top-rank Earth realm martial art to the 11th realm at the clasping Yuan realm would already be considered a top martial genius. Reaching the 12th realm would be extremely rare, and there would only be one Sikong Sheng in a few hundred years. But reaching the 13th realm would only be a monster like Yi Chun. It should be known that even for astral-reaching realm warriors, top-rank Earth realm martial arts were extremely hard to train. There were not many people who could reach the same realm as Yi Chun at the late astral-reaching realm. As for the 14th realm, one would basically have to reach the Seas of Souls realm to reach it. The 15th realm was said to be breaking through the barrier of Heaven realm martial arts, which even Seas of Souls realm warriors might not be able to reach easily. Therefore, Yi Chun's achievements in martial arts alone were already equivalent to the top astral-reaching realm warriors, which would increase his battling power by quite a bit. As for why he was able to train the Green Lotus Sword spell to the 13th realm, Yi Chun himself knew it the best. As he had learned more and more martial arts, the comprehensive ability brought by the fusion of his two souls had been fully utilized, and his martial talent had improved drastically. Thinking about the time when he was training the mysterious great art, he had spent 1.5 years to reach the 11th realm, which was the highest realm. And the 11th realm of the mysterious great art was only equivalent to the 9th realm of the Green Lotus Sword spell. Sometimes, Yi Chun really wanted to know where his limit was. Thousands of miles away from the Sky Cloud Martial School, the fireman was flying with a group of people from the Purple Sun Martial School. Damn it! The more he thought about it, the angrier he got. Unable to control the anger that was about to burn, the fireman threw out a palm attack on the mountain next to him. Boom! The top half of the mountain had been blown away. The destructive power of a mid-astral reaching realm warrior was obvious. Yi Chun, just you wait. This time, I will kill all of the astral-reaching realm warriors in your Sky Cloud Martial School. As for you, don't even think about living. I will kill you first, then the Sky Cloud Martial School, and then the Yi family. I will kill all the men and sell all the women to the brothel. I will make your Sky Cloud Martial School and the Yi family slaves forever, never to be born again. This was the biggest shame of the fireman's life. The Gold Spearman, who was one of the Wild Five with him, had been killed by Yi Chun right in front of him, and he had been kicked out of the Sky Cloud Martial School. He had lost all of his face. His whole life's face had been lost just like that. Great master, let it be arrogant for a while. A little impatience would ruin the big plan. An inner master of the Purple Sun Martial School said bravely. Boom! After killing his opponent with one palm attack, the fireman said with his teeth bared, Who asked you to teach me a lesson? You are looking for death. Seeing that, the others felt a chill down their spines, not daring to say anything more. Chapter 3:17. 3 days later, with Cloud Dreamer and Thunder Freer guarding the Sky Cloud Martial School, Yi Chun went to the Blue Beauty Mountain alone. The Blue Beauty Mountain was located 3,000 miles north of the Purple Sun Martial School in the Lana Mountain Range. It was not that tall, but it was very pretty. On top of the Blue Beauty Mountain, the fireman and a middle-aged man in gray robes were sitting on a stone chair next to a stone table, drinking wine. This Yi Chun has to die for sure. He dares to challenge us, the Wild Five. The middle-aged man was still very angry. He tightened his hand, and the wine glass shattered. The fireman squeezed his eyes. Don't worry, Brother Mountain. He will not live for long. Brother Gold will not die for nothing. The middle-aged man in front of him was indeed one of the Wild Five, the Mountain Man. His name was Mountain, and he was even more powerful than the fireman and the gold spearman. He was the third most powerful warrior among the Wild Five. His earth element Jin Yuan was extremely rich, and he was very good at attacking. The mountain man stayed silent for a while, then suddenly said, "Is he really that powerful? He has not even reached the astral reaching realm yet, but he was still able to kill Gold with 3 attacks. Although Gold is not as powerful as me, if I want to win against him, I would need at least dozens of attacks. Killing him would be even more difficult." The fireman said, "That day, Brother Gold was more or less careless. He did not even use his most powerful ace attack. But that brat should not be underestimated. He even knows the minor blood demon body separating great art, which can increase his attacking power by more than 50%. The minor blood demon body separating great art is a secret art that burns chi and blood. He must have some rare medicine on him." Pausing for a while, the mountain man said again, "After this mission, we need to make a plan to kill him right away. Once he reaches the astral reaching realm, even late astral reaching realm warriors might not be able to stop him. If he escapes, then none of us will have a good life." "Yeah." The fireman nodded heavily. Yi Chen's threat was increasing day by day. Right now, even he was not his opponent. If he waited for Yi Chen to reach the astral reaching realm, then the success of his plan would be greatly reduced, which was not what he wanted to see. "Haha, Brother Lai Hua, I haven't seen you for many years, but your charm hasn't decreased at all." In the distant sky, 2 human silhouettes swiftly flew over. The leading one was a man who was about 60 years old, with a muscular body and a muscular waist. He was wearing an emerald golden robe. The man beside him was about the same age as him, but looked much thinner and weaker. He had a trace of scholarly aura, which made him look quite similar to the leader of the Emerald Martial Palace, Zhuang Qingxian. The fireman stood up and greeted them with a smile. "Brother Peng, Brother Zhuang, you two have been training in the Emerald Martial Palace for so many years. It is so rare for me to see you." These two were none other than 2 of the top 3 great masters of the Emerald Martial School. The one with the strong body was the #1 warrior of the Emerald Martial School, Peng Nye, who was at the peak of mid-astral reaching realm, only 1 step away from reaching the late astral reaching realm. The one with the scholarly aura was the father of the leader of the Emerald Martial School, Zhuang Qinghe, who was at the peak of early astral reaching realm. The other one was not here, probably because he had chosen to guard the Emerald Martial School. The 2 landed on the Bishio Mountain. Peng Nye looked at the mountain man and said, "Is this the mountain man from your 5 wanderers? Nice to meet you." The mountain man did not dare to underestimate Peng Nye. Judging from his powerful chi, he was obviously a half-step late astral reaching realm warrior. It seemed like it was not without reason that the Emerald Martial School was able to dominate the Windy Nation for hundreds of years. He held his fists together and laughed. "I am flattered. I have always heard about how powerful Peng Nye from the Emerald Martial School is. Now that I have seen you in person, you are indeed powerful." "Haha, Brother Fire, you are flattering me." Peng Nye did not care about it and asked, "Have the other martial institutions confirmed yet?" The fireman nodded. "There will be 2 people from the Rudra Martial School, 1 from the North Snow Martial Academy, and 2 from the Sky Cloud Martial School. They are Cloud Dreamer and Thunder Freer." Speaking of the Sky Cloud Martial School, the killing intent and haze flashed past his eyes, but he hid it very well. It is not strange for the Rudra Martial School to send 2 people, but why would the Sky Cloud Martial School send 2 people as well? Did no one stay behind to guard the school? Peng Nye was a bit surprised. He had witnessed the rise of the Sky Cloud Martial School in the past couple of years, so he had been paying a lot of attention to the school. The fireman said with a low voice, "Brother Peng, I am afraid you do not know yet. The new great master of the Sky Cloud Martial School, Yi Chen, was able to fight against mid-astral reaching realm warriors when he was only at the Zhen Yuan refining stage. This time, I went to the Sky Cloud Martial School to remind them, but I did not expect that Yi Chen had not liked our Purple Sun Martial School for a long time. Not only did he say something rude, he even took the opportunity to kill my good friend, the Gold Spearman." Hearing him, Pang Nye and Zhuang Qing's faces looked a bit gloomy. Yi Qin's rise was way too fast. Before, they did not think that he would be a threat to them, so it was a mistake to ignore him. Pang Nye sneered. It seems like it is time to teach the Sky Cloud Martial School a lesson. I have let them grow for the past couple of years, and now they really think that the Windy Nation is their territory. Of course, he would not believe everything the fireman had said, but Yi Qin's threat was undeniable. If the Emerald Martial School wanted to keep their dominating position in the Windy Nation, he would not show any mercy. This place has a nice view. I hope I'm not late. While they were talking, a wave of ice-cold qi spread out. A couple of miles away, a white shadow appeared out of nowhere. The white shadow's body art was combined with his blade art, which was unstoppable. Pang Nye turned his body, facing the direction where the white shadow was coming from. He said with a faint smile, Lin Xuehan, after 10 years of training, your blade art has reached the next level. Shoo! The white shadow landed on the ground. It was a middle-aged man wearing a long white robe. He was in his 50s, and his face was skinny and angular. His palms were huge, but there were no calluses on them. Once he landed on the ground, the ice-cold qi disappeared immediately, and he turned into a normal human being. Impressive. I have underestimated the astral-reaching realm warriors from the Windy Nation. The middle-aged man in white was only at the mid-astral reaching realm, but in the mountain man's eyes, he was no less threatening than Pang Nye. There seemed to be an unstoppable blade, qi hidden inside his body, waiting to be unleashed. The middle-aged man in white laughed. There are only 2 astral-reaching realm warriors in our North Snow Martial Academy. Therefore, I had to come here alone. You must not be too busy, right? Of course not. As long as you are here. The fireman laughed. Pang Nye smiled lightly. Brother Lin alone is more than enough to take on 2 people. I wonder how much of your blade intent has reached. Lin Xuehan said, I am not that talented, only 70%. The blade intent was just like the sword intent. The higher the level, the harder it was to learn, especially after the entry level of the blade intent. Every little bit of improvement would be extremely difficult. Lin Xuehan, being able to learn 70% of the blade intent when he was only at the mid-astral reaching realm was already quite impressive. Most of the astral reaching realm blade artists who had learned the blade intent would only be around 50 or 60%. Right now, there were 3 people in the North Snow Martial Academy who had learned the blade intent. One was him, one was the leader of the academy, Shui Warren, and the last one was Lynch. Shui Warren was a late bloomer, so he was currently at 50% of the blade intent. On the other hand, Lynch was catching up. In the 1 year after the Hidden Dragon Rank competition, his blade intent had reached 40%, and his overall battling power had reached beyond Shui Warren. I heard that Yi Qin from the Sky Cloud Martial School had revealed 70% of his sword intent during the Hidden Dragon Rank competition. It was indeed shocking. Lin Xuehan said. The fireman could not help but say, he has reached 80% sword intent. Oh, Pang Nye and Lin Xuehan both looked at him. This guy is way more horrifying than you can imagine. If you underestimate him, you will die a horrible death. The fireman took advantage of the fact that everyone did not want to sit and watch the Sky Cloud Martial School develop, so he told them the truth on purpose. This way, there would be less obstacles when they carried out their plans in the future. Pang Nye remained silent. No one knew what he was thinking. Lin Xuehan was still calm and at ease. The serious atmosphere did not last long before the people from the South Rudra Martial School arrived. The South Rudra Martial School trained a water martial art. When they pushed their speed to its limit, layers of water-like ripples appeared in the air, which was extremely pleasing to the eyes. In everyone's sight, a man and a woman, who looked to be in their 40s, flew over. May I know who you are? The South Rudra Martial School had a special status, and they had a powerful background. For all these years, no one had ever seen the great master of the South Rudra Martial School show up. Therefore, no one knew who they were or where they were from. Pang Nye could not help but ask. The man and the woman landed on the ground. The middle-aged man said, Xiao Hong, this is my wife, Long Yu. Nice to meet you too. No one dared to be rude. They all held their fists together to greet them, including the Mountain Man. Although he did not really care about the top 4 martial institutions of the Windy Nation, he had heard from the fireman that they could not touch the South River Martial School. If they did, no matter how powerful they were, they would not be able to escape death. After a moment of silence, the Mountain Man said unhappily, "How come the people from the Sky Cloud Martial School are not here yet? We can't keep waiting for them here, can we?" Xiao Hung said, "What if we wait a little bit longer?" The Mountain Man made a face. The fireman and Pang Nie's expressions both darkened. Senior Cloud Dreamer and Thunder Freer had something to do, so they could not come. I have come on their behalf. Right then, a clear voice was heard from the Green Mountain. Everyone looked up. Yi Chun, who was wearing a blue robe, was flying in the air at an extremely fast speed. "It is him." The fireman froze for a second, then he was overjoyed. He did not plan to kill Yi Chun right away. He only planned to kill the 2 astral-reaching realm warriors first. However, he did not expect that Yi Chun would join the mission to kill the corpse man himself. Therefore, the mission to kill Yi Chun could be brought forward. God is helping me. The fireman and the Mountain Man looked at each other. A smile that was hard to notice flashed past their faces. It was the first time Pang Nie had seen Yi Chun from the front. He sneered, "You are that Yi Chun, the rare martial genius of the Windy Nation." The blue shadow disappeared, and Yi Chun appeared in front of everyone. "I am not a martial genius. Cloud Dreamer and Thunder Freer are afraid of death. They asked you to go to the front line. It seems like they do not care about you at all." Pang Nie looked at Yi Chun. Although his chi was powerful, it was not as powerful as the fireman had described. He thought to himself. At the same time, there was a hint of killing intent. He did not believe that the fireman did not have a plan this time. Perhaps he could take advantage of the fireman's plan and get it over with once and for all. Yi Chun glanced at Pang Nie and the fireman. He was expressionless as he walked up to greet the 2 great masters of the Ritter Martial School.